It is 10:01. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Min Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. SEC Media Days continue into today down in Tampa. Georgia, Auburn, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt are making the rounds today. 3HL live down in Tampa, courtesy of Wholesale Supply and eSpaces. In NFL news, the Packers agreed to terms with defensive tackle Devontae Wyatt on a 3-year extension worth $57 million with a $20 million signing bonus. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once in your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Good morning. Welcome into 104.5 The Zone. We're happy to have you. We're all back together. We're fresh off a night at the movies. And you're stuck hearing about it for the next 3 hours. 615-737-1045. That's the number if you want to participate. We are also live streamed, as always, on the F&M Bank Chat, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. If you would like to hang out there. Are we shot in 70-millimeter IMAX film, or are we just standard def?
We are one of only 25 radio stations in the country to be broadcast in 70-millimeter film. I painstakingly put this entire show together.
Oh.
The film stretches from here to Murray, Kentucky.
Yeah, so we went to see The Odyssey in IMAX last night at Opry Mills. I had not been to Opry Mills in a long time. When is the last time the two of you, I feel like Robert probably frequents Opry Mills on a regular basis. He seems like somebody who would hang out at a Dave & Buster's.
Don't do that to DMBs.
Do you enjoy Dave & Buster's?
It's an institution.
Okay, I apologize. I don't want to offend a certain segment of the population. Either way, it's been God knows how long. You said the last time you saw an IMAX film was March of the Penguins.
A proper IMAX film, because I've been to IMAX movies where you walk in and you're very excited and you get there and realize the screen is just slightly bigger, like marginally bigger. So this was proper IMAX. Like this has had people driving 7-8 hours to watch The Odyssey in its intended format.
Well, and Lucas was reticent to talk about The Odyssey today because he said, if I was driving around and I heard you guys talking about your experience at the movies last night with something that just recently premiered on Thursday, yes, the movie just came out on Thursday, I would immediately, put my hands over my ears, earmuffs, and change the channel or something like that. But The Odyssey has been out for a very long time.
I understand.
There's no such thing as spoilers with something that is literally before Christ.
But it's Christopher Nolan's adaptation. Going into last night, wanted no spoilers on how Nolan approached certain things or which. Oh, this scene was particularly cool because this happened.
It's okay.
I understand the spoiler policy for a 3,000-year-old story, but if we're going to tell people anything, it was a cinematic achievement.
Well, that's the thing that was the first question that I got asked yesterday after I said that we had went to see it is, will it win something? Will it be up for awards?
It'll win a ton.
Well, no one else should even apply. Best set design?
Now, hold up. Just slow down, okay? Because, yes, it's a very impressive feat. I have notes. I have feedback for Christopher Nolan, the great Christopher Nolan, I'm sure of which he would appreciate. I need captions. I need captions in the IMAX theater. Does anybody else feel this way? Because the sound, it's immersive, right? This is more about the experience at an IMAX than it is about the movie itself, but I need captions. And I don't know if I'm 33 yesterday. I'm washed, apparently. I can't hear in movies anymore.
I've been this way for years.
Okay, so I hate this, and I would like captions because it was not overwhelming to the point where I missed significant amounts of dialogue, but it would be like a word or a sentence here or there that I would miss and be like, wait.
Yeah. Back it up. Rewind it.
Come on back for a second.
Yeah, I have gotten so conditioned to captions while watching movies that it's hard for me to... That is the hardest thing about going to the movie theater now. And I'm like, what? What'd he say?
When that Cyclops started hollering, I was like, oh, I can't wait to watch this with captions on. But I don't think it was about that, right? It wasn't all about the words. It was about feeling the entire trip. And after it was over with, I felt it. Boy, I went home and collapsed. But I do have some thoughts.
Well, I was going to get to your review here in just a minute.
Well,
do you want to give your review now?
Can I give a piece of it?
Sure, buddy.
Anne Hathaway is going to be the most beautiful woman in the world until she is 150.
Amen.
Like,
They aged her in the movie with makeup, and she's still goddess. Unbelievable.
Also, who was Calypso? Is it Charlize
Theron? Yeah.
That's the only thing that took me out. She looked like a Maxim model. She looked like I wouldn't have left either, dude.
You're stranded on the island with Charlize Theron?
Yeah, please. Oh, you think I'm going home to Cheyenne after that? Come on. Let's stay here and catch fish, baby.
Yes, you will, because Cheyenne will have you, all right? So somebody has to put up with you, apparently, and thank God for the rest of us at Cheyenne.
I want Odysseus. That's what I want Robert.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway will just until the end of time. Absolutely. Now, so the principal parties, no spoilers. These are all things that you can learn from watching a trailer on YouTube. But Matt Damon is Odysseus. You've got Anne Hathaway, who's his wife, Penelope. Tom Holland is Telemachus. And then Robert Pattinson, who I had not seen in a movie since, what's the Wolf movie? The Wolf vampire movie. What's that?
Twilight.
I hadn't seen Robert Pattinson. I know he's been in some stuff.
He does a ton of stuff.
Yeah, so that's on me for being ignorant, but I hadn't seen him since Twilight. He is Antinous, who is the terrible a suitor trying to woo Penelope away after 20 years without Odysseus.
Good on Penelope, because I would have busted that thing open for Robert Pattinson so quick. Dude, he's so dreamy. He's also so good.
He looks like a weasel in that movie.
He is so good at playing just a piece of crap.
Yeah, the way his like eye twitches when he's in some of these scenes where he just looks like he's tweaking a little bit. Like I don't know how organic that is, how much you can condition yourself to be able to do that, but he looks like he plays the part of scumbag well. Absolutely.
What did I tell you guys?
You would be that easy?
Oh, yeah.
She went 20 years without seeing her man.
It wouldn't have been 20 minutes. I mean, like, come on, knock these doonies down, dude. What did I tell you guys in the parking lot that I wanted? I wanted a weird cameo.
I thought I'd go in something completely different.
And I totally missed it. Did you guys see Benny Softy?
No.
I don't know who that is.
He is a director. He directed Happy Gilmore too.
When they brought them back to try to get them to do what they did in the temple, he was the guy that was like, I've already spared one old man today.
That's right.
And I was like, I didn't even think about Ben Softy in it.
Yeah, he's done a lot of movies that are probably...
Also...
I think he did Uncut Gems.
He did. Mia Goth is now the poster child for ugliest and hottest woman at the exact same time.
Interesting.
I don't know what it is.
All of Robert's takeaways from the movie.
Yeah, very superficial.
Yes.
Well,
what do people look like?
Nothing about the cinematography.
What
or,
okay,
I thought we were talking about
acting.
that. That's the one thing we can't tell people because that's what you're going to see the movie for.
No, I understand. I'm just saying.
Okay, that's fine. You guys can talk about sword fighting and stuff while I relive Mia Goth.
No, but I want to go. Okay, calm down. I want to go back to the idea of what will it win. Okay, because the only criticism that I have of the actual movie is the dialogue kind of threw me off. The fact that they're talking like us, as if we would be talking now.
Here's the thing, though. Like, it would have felt better for you if they were speaking in British accents, right? But that also wouldn't make any more sense because it's about ancient Greece.
And I would have complained more because then I would have been trying to keep up with the dialect without the captions. So, like, it helped me that they were speaking like you and I are speaking now, but it kind of threw me when Tom Holland is talking about going to find his dad. Like the word dad in the middle of the Odyssey was not something that, I don't know. It just didn't, there was just a few moments here or there. They weren't like throughout the course of the movie. But it's a huge story, right? They got a limited amount of time to tell a massive story. So I feel like with a plot that size, you got to keep people's attention as much as humanly possible. And what better way to do that than to just speak plain English to them rather than doing a bunch of fake and phony accents like Brad Pitt and in Troy.
There's mythical creatures from start to finish in that movie, and people are going to get upset about Tom Holland calling him dad.
I'm not upset. I'm just saying, like, it threw me a little bit when he's like, gotta go find my dad. It's like Mickey Mouse type stuff.
There was one scene where Odysseus is talking to Calypso on the island, and he's like, something, I don't know. It's like, I don't know if he's going to hit her with the IDK.
Somebody in the chat testing my movie ignorance says, Buck is lying. He saw Water for Elephants. No. He saw Tenet. No. He saw The Lighthouse. I don't even know what... I've heard of Tenet. I don't know what the other two are.
The Lighthouse was excellent. It was that movie he did with Willem Dafoe, Robert Pattinson, that black and white movie.
As far as what this thing will win, okay, it is beautiful. The way that the movie is shot is beautiful. 91 days, it took them to shoot this thing in 6 different countries. It's outrageous. The level of the ornate level of detail that they went. I think I saw that Christopher Nolan shot like 200 miles of film.
Yeah,
something
that adds
outrageous.
Up. Nolan really Nolaned on this one.
I mean, it is the Christopher Nolan movie to end all Christopher Nolan. Over 2 million feet of IMAX film shot over in Morocco, Greece, Italy, Iceland, Scotland, and at the Falls Lake water tank on the Universal lot. Not quite as scenic, but still.
It was over 100 hours of footage that they had to cut down to 3.
No, I encourage anybody to go see it. And if you can, take advantage of the fact that we have one of like 24 70-millimeter IMAX theaters right here in our backyard. So go to Opry Mills, watch The Odyssey.
Well, you have been excited about this since you bought the tickets in May, and you were very you left me because I was running a little bit behind yesterday because you were very nervous about being a half hour late.
I was not messing with it.
A half hour early to the movie. I said he called me 2 times. Where are you? I'm on I-24 in traffic.
PSA: if you're going to go see it in 70-millimeter IMAX, there are no previews. They gave us a little sample of the new Dune movie that Christopher Nolan basically did as a tribute, or not a tribute, but a favor to his buddy. But there are no previews, so you better get there on time.
It started at 7:10, I believe.
Yeah, and for some people, it's not
7 p.m. showing.
It's for some people, it's not the Dune preview. For some people, it's that new Jessica Chastain horror movie.
I'm glad we didn't get that.
I don't want anything to do with that. I'm such a chicken bleep when it comes to scary movies.
I hate that. I need somebody to watch scary movies with.
What is it with you? You self-loathing people that you want yourself to feel anxiety and misery and like horror and stuff like that you seek these things out. I feel like there's some level of therapy required.
A horror film in 70-millimeter IMAX sounds like a form of torture to me.
I want to go to sleep after this thing. I don't want to be thinking about the thing that's living under my bed or my closet or something like that.
I do go to sleep. I just wake up in the middle of it and go like, ah! and go back to sleep. And Cheyenne's mad at me.
You're right. Charlize Theron would forgive you your night terrors.
No, she would soothe me and say, "Oh, it's okay," and feed me the lily lotus.
All right, that's enough. That's enough.
It's the Odyssey, Lucas.
I don't care.
3,000 years old. There's no spoilers. Anyway, if it wins anything, and it will win things, okay, it's going to win for how it looks.
Yeah,
because it's incredible. It's incredible. The writing itself, I don't know, didn't necessarily blow me away. I don't know how you two feel about it. I thought they did a great job keeping the thread, though, given how difficult and how intricate that story is.
Did you guys have to close your eyes a little bit during that storm scene with the lightning?
I'm not doing.
No more.
I feel like it gave me a seizure.
If I was listening, I would have flipped the station 10 minutes ago.
All right, very good. More. So we'll keep people's attention with Dawn Davenport next. Now, I promised you Don Davenport, but it sounds like we got a little bit more going on from SEC Media Days down there in Tampa, where you can tune in all week long as 3HL broadcasts live from SEC Media Days through the 23rd. Hear all the latest SEC news during 4 days of special interviews and conversations that you simply won't get anywhere else. Our SEC Media Day coverage is sponsored by Wholesale Supply, built to supply, trusted to deliver, and by eSpaces, exceptional office space for every business. For more info and a schedule of interviews, visit 1045thezone.com. I hear background noise. I hear Convention Center. I hear 3HL. Y'all back there?
Yo.
No, we are in the building. What up, Mark Mills? Come on,
we roll
dog.
as a team around here, so it's not just Dawn. Now you get Mayor and Slay, too.
Dog.
You get us all.
It's called
Can I set the
over-delivering.
scene real quick? Dawn
may.
Davenport is sitting next to me on my right, and she is wearing a blanket. It is that cold in Tampa
So
in a
freaking
hotel.
cold in here. It's ridiculously cold.
She
Dawn,
actually
walk
just
outside.
asked me to move her mic closer
No, but it's
to
far
her mouth.
away, Buck.
You have never sounded more like me in your entire life.
Oh, gosh.
That's a
Lord
good point.
help me.
That's a good point.
So he's right.
So day one was jam-packed. You've got SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey talking about they're prepared to leave the NCAA. It's definitely a real conversation, according to Greg Sankey. How do we feel about that?
That was so overblown, though, with how he said it and what he said. Like, I don't know. I thought it was a little overblown with how he said it. Yes, he said, I mean, he admitted, yes, those conversations have been had. It's real. But it wasn't like, I mean, the way, right, Slay?
Yep.
Am I being crazy here?
No,
I just
you're not.
feel like we're taking a headline and we're running with it, because the way that he was asked was, how real is a possible super conference with the SEC and the Big Ten, basically.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm going to address your question. Like, yes, it is real that the conversations have been had.
Yeah.
He did not say, yeah, it's real. We're looking at it. We're going to do it. He was just very honest that the conversations have been had.
And that's what it was. I think what he led with was transparency and accountability.
Yes.
So when he threw those two out there, when they asked the question, it was like, okay, well, I'm going to be transparent and accountable with what I'm giving you guys. Also understand that what happened in the spring when we went through those meetings, that's not to be aired out. That's still supposed to stay right there. But I'll do my best at answering your questions, and that's what he was. He was transparent, saying, yes, these conversations have been had. And if we don't do the right thing by getting it to Congress or whoever has the, okay to build
By
whatever it
having
is.
consistency across college football, then this could happen.
This could happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it was as simple as that.
He said we need to bring this discussion to conclusion quickly. He said there were 4 principles, to Slay's point. National standards must be enforceable. He said framework should be truly national. He said transparency is essential, and treat organizations equally.
There's a problem there. Organizations are not equal
That's
in the
what
college football.
we all looked at each other like, oh, nah.
Sounds great and wonderful,
Yeah,
but
look
come
good.
on.
So was that the theme of day one? Greg Sankey's comments / non-comments about suggesting that, yes, it's been a conversation, but it's not a point of leverage, because that's what Paul Feinbaum and Heather Dinich are talking about on ESPN and SEC. Have you guys talked more about these off-field things that dominate every conversation around college football, or has it been more about the football after day one?
Me personally, I feel like it's been more about the football, because once you leave the main room, that's when you start to get the element of the coaches, the players, and that's stuck in the room. Yes, the talking heads are in the room. That's why they're continuing to talk about it. But once they get out here and you start talking to players, you see who kind of takes over. You know what I mean? From the Deshaun Bishop interview we did, you see what guys are doing as far as Oklahoma players, Venables, how they're talking. Everybody, I think, starts to move along after the initial address to the nation, if that's what you want to call it, what Sankey does.
And Sankey always says something that gets people talking.
Every single year.
Yeah.
I mean,
he knows what he's doing.
He's a politician, basically. So when you come out to Radio Row, we get more intrigued by the stories of the players and how they got where they are.
the head coaches and where they are in their career and things like that. So, to me, the best thing yesterday wasn't necessarily Sankey with the big picture stuff. To me, it was Ahmad Hardy, the Missouri running back, has been cleared. Obviously went through that incident where he was shot in the leg in Laurel, Mississippi at a concert, and he's worked hard to get back. And Eli Drinkwitz stood up on the podium and made that announcement yesterday. I thought that was really positive news and kind of a ray of light there.
Little 3HL BR show crossover from SEC Media Days. 3HL doing a great job as always. Super Bowl Radio Row and 3HL always must listen appointment radio, of course, but this is where they thrive. Robert is getting in my ear and saying it's 6HL. Why is it 6HL?
Because all of us together, that's 6.
Oh, okay, buddy.
Oh,
Okay.
It's me too. I'm gonna add me on here too.
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
add me on here
Put him in a little box.
Go put him in a little box. Put him in a little box in the middle of the Zone TV chat if you're hanging out with us on Zone TV.
Poor Zeph.
You can see Dawn in her blanket.
Hey, get it. Tell him to get in your shot.
Joseph has never been left out. Every time I turn on your show, he's talking. Okay, he's fine. It's okay.
Never been left out.
It's just fine.
Zep's on the other side of the table because he can't fit under the blanket. So.
I am freezing over here.
Okay, so
he weighs about $1, so that's why.
Oh, there you go.
So you've got Missouri, as you mentioned yesterday, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Will Stein had some interesting comments, Brent, that I wonder all three of your thoughts on, but I'd start with you, Brent. Just the bravado of the Kentucky coach, given that that's not necessarily a program. I mean, Mark Stoops has been the most accomplished coach that Kentucky has had, but that is not a place that is associated with football and winning.
Yeah, Will Stein actually hopped on with us yesterday, so people can go check out the podcast where you get your podcasts. And Kenny Minchie was on, his quarterback who transferred from Notre Dame, who is from Hendersonville. They were on at the same time. But, Will Stein making news yesterday when asked, why will Kentucky win under you, and or how will they win? And he said, because of me. And I thought that was really, really true to what he believes in and what he's saying. And
it wasn't cocky.
It wasn't cocky at all. It was
Didn't
just
come off as
matter-of-fact confidence. And, we've heard it from coaches before. James Franklin got the Vanderbilt job, and everybody asked him about all the losing at Vanderbilt, and he said, what does that losing have to do with me? And Will Stein kind of, with that same deal, obviously Kentucky has struggled. That's why, they made a change at head coach, and none of that had anything to do with him. So he's a very confident dude, and a very smart offensive mind, and I'm anxious to see what that looks like at Kentucky. And then obviously the hometown angle with Kenny Minchie coming from Notre Dame to Kentucky from Hendersonville, played at Pope John Paul. So Will Stein was, I thought, pretty cool yesterday actually.
Yeah, well, and here's the other thing about Stein is they have a top 10 transfer portal class in the country. So he's gone out, he's gotten some new players, he's filled some holes. Like, people forget about that and about how damn easy it is to change your team within a year now because of the portal. And so he's got a lot of talent coming in. And then the other thing about him is he has just done things his way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he was in college for a little bit, then he went and was like, I think I'm going to go coach high school for a little bit. So he went and coached high school for a little bit and then got back in the college game. Like, he has never really, to me, it feels like done what you should or are supposed to do as a coach from a path, a journey, a trajectory. And so I kind of appreciate that part of him. And I think he's going to be super fun offensively to watch what they do, because you saw what he did at his last stop at Oregon, what they were able to do, and how high-powered offenses can be. So from that standpoint, I'm like, that's why he didn't come off as cocky to me. He just came off as like, yo, this is me.
This is matter of fact.
This is matter of fact. I think it's because of me. Like, he has not taken the path of, you need to go be a coach at a smaller school and you need to, stay in college and do this. He's like, well, I want to go coach high school, so I'm going to go do that for a little bit, and then I'll come back.
Well, it's like you asked him to recruit you during our segment, and I thought that was interesting because he did put together on a quick way the number 10 prospect transfer class in America.
Yeah, I could have jumped him up to number 1, but this is what they got to understand. When you look at a guy coming in, a head coach, Babs talked about it, man. plenty of times. When Drink first jumped in, you got to jump in and make a splash in a conference where the fans are fanatics, the coaches get paid big bucks, and all the boosters and people in the upper management, they want to be right there at the golf course and at the barbershops talking about how great of a program they got. You better not come in this conference and sit on your hands. You better not do it. So you better come in with that bravado, not cockiness, but bravado, saying this is why we're gonna be able to go get these kids here. They already got something established at Kentucky. You know what it is basketball-wise. Stoops didn't leave it in a horrific spot. It's better than when he left it. So you got an opportunity to shake things up, and Louisville down the street, regardless of what's going on in the SEC, is making waves. So
even though he played there.
Even though he played there.
So bizarre.
But that gives more to it because he sees what's going on and what they want to do and get behind it. So you got to shake this thing up. You got to shake it up.
He was also a Kentucky fan growing up. Like he talked about rushing the field.
That's what I felt from him.
Played at Louisville, but grew up a Kentucky fan.
He know what it means. That's all I feel.
I think he played at Louisville because Kentucky didn't work out.
It's just so important, though, that he is a Kentucky fan because he gets that. Like, I was going to relate it, slay back to the idea of Signetti coming into the basketball game 2 years ago and saying Purdue sucks, but so do Michigan and Ohio State. And we're coming for them, too. And we all laughed. We're like, he's cute. He's new here. Let's pinch his cheeks, set him on his way. Good luck this season, little guy. And now he's a national champion, okay? Now, he's a bit of a unicorn, but, like, just somebody – as an athlete, Slay, somebody who can come in and actually be authentic about resetting the culture, resetting expectations, and essentially at Kentucky football, it feels like it's less retraining of a fan base than at an Indiana, for example.
No question, and that's what it's going to take, especially in the day and age with these student athletes that's coming in now. You have to do something to catch their attention because it's short. It's only short-lived before another person comes in with maybe a bigger brand or a bigger bag and can get that attention. If you don't come in and make your mark immediately, then it's going to be a problem, and you're going to lose everything. And like what Bab said, you that top 10 transfer portal, you're not getting that, and that's what you better base it off of coming in right away to at least make a splash. You need to go get one win or at least be your trajectory be shooting towards, you know what, we knocking on the door. You know what I'm saying?
Can I point this out, Buck and Lucas? I want to bring this up because I want to hit on this, talking about the transfers coming in. Vandy Chris, 24 in the chat. Kenny Minchie, the guy that got beat out at quarterback by a true freshman, is going to lead UK to greatness? Nah, bro. Don't happen like that. Okay, Vandy Chris, I don't think you know how close that quarterback battle was.
It was.
And B,
and it wasn't anticipated to be that way.
At Notre Dame.
Yes, at Notre Dame. And then B, how damn good that quarterback that beat him out is.
Yeah.
CJ Carter's
Am I
excellent.
right?
CJ
And
Carter's
you know
excellent.
what? Let me
Like
add to that.
everybody's talking about him, Buck.
Let me add to that.
Everybody's talking about him.
We just had a chance to talk to Clark Lee, and this is what I'm talking about. This is the prime example of what the fans are once you get a little bit of taste of winning. Vandy Chris coming in and scolding and pointing the finger at what Kentucky could be.
Yeah.
Who are you to talk about that? At Vandy, you just now found out what winning is. But that's what it is. That's why I say that, Buck. When you come in as a coach, you better, if you ain't banging on your chest, you better have somebody beating drums behind you when you're walking into this conference.
By the way, Vanderbilt football coach Clark Lee will join us for an extended conversation at 5:20. Today. So
hey, guess who else we have today, boys?
Who else?
Alex Golish.
Ooh.
War damn Eagle, baby.
Okay.
War damn
Talk about
Eagle.
confidence.
So
I love it.
I know Heupel got asked a lot about Alex Golish yesterday. 3HL joining us from SEC Media Days in Tampa. And Heupel, another year where he comes into Media Days and there's a lot on the docket, right? Last year it was the Nico stuff, the Boo Carter stuff. This year it's the quarterback battle, the Chaz Coleman situation. And he's Josh Heupel. He was never going to tell us who his starting quarterback's going to be at SEC Media Days. But from his sit down, I know you guys covered a ton. And I love how laid back Josh Heupel seems to be when he does sit down with you guys during these car wash interviews at Media Days. What's the biggest takeaway from your conversation around Josh Heupel and a fascinating year for Tennessee football in 2026?
Well, Slay asked him Slay asked him who his quarterback and when are you going to name a quarterback? He goes, I did it about 30 seconds ago. It's on Twitter. Have you not checked?
He's stalling me, Pan. That's what they're here doing.
You know, he said ideally we would have already had that done, but they're looking forward to the competition in the fall. I asked if he had a timeline. He said, no. And that's when he said, I wish, ideally speaking, it would be now. But they're going to see what they have. And Babsy asked him what he's looking for in a quarterback and a leader. And he said, well, there are a number of things. But number one, take care of the football.
Yeah, and then he talked about the command of the offense.
Yep.
So because he said that in the big room, hey, like the one that commands the offense the best, can run it the best, that kind of thing. I almost felt like, and this is just me going outside the box, guys, so don't quote Josh Heupel on this, but I almost felt like it was like, hey, it can be either one, just you got weapons around you, don't screw it up. Yeah. It's going to be easier, just don't screw it up,
yeah,
right?
We kind of got that feel from Deshaun Bishop, right?
Yep.
He was like, y'all have no idea how explosive we can be on offense this year. And he talked about the 4 returning starters on the offensive line and portal guys coming in, the weapons at wide receiver, tight end. And so he's looking forward to that too. And, I don't know. We're all focused in on who the quarterback is going to be.
Doesn't matter.
And we missing.
Doesn't matter because of what's around him.
Take care of the football, command of the offense.
I almost got like a takeaway. Command the offense. So then, of course, I asked him, okay, well, which one is commanding the offense the best right now? And of course, he's like, well, they both da-da-da-da. And I'm like, come on, Hype, give me a little something.
No, they all buttoned up on
it. He's super buttoned up on it. But, I almost felt like it was like, hey, we're going to be good with either. We feel okay with either, and it's going to be one of those don't screw it up.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're not headed towards more of a 2024 Tennessee look, right, as they try to get back to the run game. Jim Knowles coming in to clean up the defense, as opposed to Joey Aguilar just let it rip and see what happens. But how hard of a time are you guys having, Don? We can start with you on just trying to define expectations, though, for this Tennessee team. Because to your point, the talent profile feels like it's raised that depth across the board. But when your 2 biggest questions are who's going to play quarterback and who's going to sack the quarterback, it makes it hard to try and gauge where you are going into year 6 now for Heupel.
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, I think that would be a better question for Zeph and Slay and Brent because they are Vols fans. So for me, just looking at as an outsider, expectations are to be there at the end to have a chance to make the college football playoff, and it doesn't matter that you have a brand new quarterback. What do you guys? Where are you as Vols fans though, as far as expectations and what's reality?
So what's the expectation level question? Number of wins?
Because a young quarterback is going to make mistakes.
Well, and nobody wants to talk about next year, but if you look ahead to a second-year starting quarterback next year, you look ahead to a running back from Chattanooga Baylor who everybody in America wants, and it's between Tennessee and Ohio State, and we believe Tennessee's going to – I've been saying it for a long time, Tennessee's going to get him tomorrow. And so then he's in the mix in 2027. With Bishop. So, for me, I think it's going to be a fun team to watch. You're right about defensive line. Slay was talking about this yesterday. That is a big, big question, right, with this team. The linebacker, we talked to 2 of the linebackers yesterday, and they're phenomenal players and team leaders and great players and all those things. But new system on defense, all those things.
Know what you're getting out of your secondary,
For me, I don't know what the win total number is in terms of success for me, but growth certainly is.
Yeah, and I feel like when you look at this team, one thing I think with the teams that were able to win and catch us off all by surprise were those teams where the leadership. And I look at this team, and I think we all walked away saying, you know what, if they have nothing else, they do have leadership, whether it comes from the running backs, whether it comes from the linebackers.
Those kids were so impressive.
They're dialed in. You know what I'm saying? I think this is the first time when they walked into a situation, you haven't heard about expectations outside of them. You know what I'm saying? We've been hearing the outside noise, but as far as expectations, what they need to get, 10 wins, whatever it may be, this could be one of those years that you enjoy each moment, each game, and you look up at the end of the year and you're like, damn, one more win. And
right, because
we're able to get over the hump.
If it's 8-4, what are the 8?
There you go.
Because you can't lose to Vanderbilt again.
Nah, right.
And you got 9 conference games this year. Welcome to the big league.
That's going to be interesting, though. I do think, like what Bab said, don't mess it up, man. I think the weapons, and you can look at it on when you talk to Bishop, you talk to Josh Heupel, the inner child in them smiling because of the Mike Matthews, the Staleys, Ethan Davis, the running backs. You got an old line coming back with them tackles that are going to be different. Like they are, them dudes, man. They got a different aura about themselves. Not in question, but more so wait and see what's going to happen.
I want to go back to what Brent just said. 3HL's here with us from Tampa Bay.
Who's Brent?
Of course, huh?
Who's Brent?
It is Yorl.
Thank you, Bert.
Okay. Calm down, everybody. with your intros and your nicknames. Oh, my God. Everybody's calm down.
See, you think you have control over your show. We have control
When
over
have I
your
ever
show.
thought that I had control over my show? When in my life? Are you kidding me? Their coverage presented by Wholesale Supply, built to supply, trusted to deliver, and by eSpaces, exceptional office space for every business. What Brent said was that Vanderbilt cannot beat Tennessee again this year. So I want to go back to that. We are in a new age of college sports. There are no more dynasties anymore, right? So it's basically reset the board, transfer portal, NIL, almost every season. Tennessee and Vanderbilt have never felt like they have more even footing between them.
Yeah.
How real is the idea that Vanderbilt could have a more successful stretch here than Tennessee, and how real is that for Tennessee to make sure that they keep pace with little brother?
It's real.
Yeah, I think it's real. Listen, this is what I'm gonna say. You got to listen to Clark Lee's interview. Like we put him in the boom boom room. He had a series
5:20
of questions.
today, right, Brent? Right, Brent?
Yeah,
Yes.
Your will confirm that he'll be on at 5:20 today.
Thank you.
And I'm just letting you know that, hey man, it's a question that's been asked, and he has an answer for it. But he also, I think, believes that this team is out to write their own destiny when you look at who Vanderbilt is. So they know who Diego Pavia was. There was a lot of veteran leadership around him that helped their team be who they were, because that team came back. You know what I mean? And came back and got 10 wins and was right there on the cusp of doing something special. And this team is totally different because those exact same leaders are either going to the league or graduated and had to graduate because a lot of them were older. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, man.
Yeah, Tennessee had won 6 straight in the series, but last year was a dominant second half performance by Vanderbilt, and I mean they throttled Tennessee. So Vandy obviously trying to go 2 in a row in that little series, but
Clark Lee's confident.
He's very confident. Even if you're not a Vanderbilt fan, listen to that conversation.
I promise
it's absolutely fascinating.
All these questions you asking, you're going to get answers.
Yeah.
3HL, they do it better than anybody. They're down there at SEC Media Days for a few more days, getting all the best interviews and coverage of the Southeastern Conference. All right, get the hell out of here with your
Now,
blanket.
hold on, Buck.
What?
Commissioner Sankey is walking up. He want to jump on real quick.
Okay,
You got
very
time?
good.
You got a couple more minutes?
Do it.
Do the Sankey leg. Do the Sankey leg.
Really?
See, that's why that's my guy
You
back
have-
there.
Yeah.
That's why.
You have
Let me
full
tell you,
control of your
he is
show,
so
bud. Full
excited
control.
to jump on this radio station every year.
Just
Listen,
Just hold on.
the 3 of you collectively take your asses to the shadows right now. Get out of here. Go. Yeah, goodbye. That's 3HL from Tampa Bay. We'll talk more
You're
about.
smoking crack.
Oh. Yes, Dawn. That is
Sounded like
correct.
a hot mic for a second.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I was going for.
it would not be the first time she's accused me of such things. Anyway, we will get back to the college football conversation. Obviously, SEC Media Day is rolling along. We got to talk about these ESPN layoffs that are going on today. Next, I'm Buck Risings, 104.5 The Zone.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. The best hot chicken in the world. I want Hattie B's today. I've had Hattie B's entirely too much this week. Maybe the limit does not exist, but I have a hot chicken craving. We had so much fun. Did you guys talk about the World Cup final and the experience, the watch party, or not watch party necessarily, but the viewing experience from the Hattie B's in East Nashville?
What do you think?
I would hope so.
Mum is the word. Don't tell anyone how extravagant and awesome East Nashville's location is. Don't tell anyone there's free pool, liquor drinks, 40s, pinball.
I did have tremendous respect for the two guys who were just in the middle of the place playing pool the entire time and not paying a bit of attention to the soccer. I did think that was
They played pool for like 4 hours.
They just showed up on Sunday. Let's get the boys together. Let's go play some pool. Oh, the World Cup final is on, and everybody is here to watch it. We're just, hanging out in the middle of all the festivities. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't tell more people about the East Nashville location because I very much enjoyed that. And it will soon be overrun, like all of their locations, because Hattie B's does it right. ESPN, no way to gracefully transition into what's happening today, but it looks like a bit of a bloodbath out there for a number of people at the worldwide leader. Maybe you don't necessarily, as a sports fan, pay super close attention to the transactions of media.
No, but these are big names.
These are big names. That's
like,
what
these
I'm
are
saying.
names people have been watching for years.
That's why I think it's important to kind of pull aside and talk about what's happening today, because it's a sad almost all of these people will find work. They will not be on as free agents for long. But there's a trend happening in sports media right now. You saw what happened to Pro Football Focus. They got stripped down to the studs. Good people like Trevor Sikkema out there at this point in time. Charles Davis, Tom Pelissero, Carl Ravitch, and Ryan Clark are the biggest names so far, who specifically The Athletic and Andrew Marchand, who covers sports media and the business of sports media, is reporting. All are out today. Cam Newton, who has some appearances with First Take from time to time. He's not necessarily a full-time ESPN talent, but was doing stuff for the network on top of his podcast.
Bart Scott.
They'd started to wean themselves off Bart Scott, right? He's not doing ESPN radio anymore, so he's probably, and I know they reorganized the ESPN radio structure again. That's happened like 7 times since Mike and Mike left.
But Carl Ravitch, man, that dude is an institution. Like 33 years at the network, and he is most associated with baseball, and he's an excellent baseball announcer. And he does the College World Series every year and MLB on ESPN, but Carl Ravitch does college basketball. He does college football. That's probably the most notable. There's some big name former athletes in there. And Tom Pelissero is someone that we reference a lot on this show.
It depends on where you talk about the relevance. Pelissero is the most relevant to the NFL space. Carl Ravitch is if you're a fan of ESPN because he's a staple at the network, right? I mean, you're talking about Linda Cohn, who's anchored the most sports centers of anybody, men or women, leaving the network after, I believe it was 35 years, maybe a little more, a little less than 35 years of her own volition. She wasn't part of the layoffs, but maybe she saw she saw the writing on the wall. Because it's with ESPN acquiring the NFL network, okay, there was always going to be redundancies. And so you're talking about a lot of good and talented people working at both places who are going to look across the aisle at ESPN or the NFL Network and be like, hey, I do that for this company already. What's going to happen to me?
Like, how many Tom Pelisseros were there at ESPN? Like, Schefter's already in there. He's the big dog. Rapp gets layered in there.
Garofolo got extended, I saw.
They bring in Peter Schrager, too, as part of that merger.
Schrager is a reporter, but he's more of a pundit anymore than he is a reporter. He still does have insights, though, that way.
Next thing you know, though, you've got like 5 or 6 dudes that have their job description has a lot of overlap on the Venn diagram, so it was probably inevitable.
And yeah, I'm sure they had some sense that this was coming down the line. Ryan Clark, though, is something that we're going to get to in the next segment, because Ryan Clark is my oh no. Not even just the Ryan Clark, but the way that the situation happened around him yesterday, if you've paid any attention to that. So we will get to, what do we have to give away for oh no? What do we have in the nebulous prize bucket?
If you've been waiting.
But I'm sure, the fine people downstairs at promotions have stocked and supplied. What's in the nebulous prize bucket?
Oh, it's busting at the seams.
Okay,
I have a family 4-pack to go see Nashville SC host Montreal tomorrow night at Geodis to go along with your $100 gift card to a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa.
How about that? $100 gift card to a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in and of itself
You can get a
is worth it.
massage to get ready to have to deal with your kids for 3 hours. Or your wife.
At the soccer game. Or your husband.
Sure, it's not that way around.
Nashville SC is the best team in the city. It's not even close. Go see the best team in Nashville, Nashville SC. If you call in 615-737-1045 and tell us what in sports made you say, oh no.
In 5 minutes, doors will be open at Hattie B's locations across Middle Tennessee, and it is your opportunity to go spend your lunch break at any one of the spots, whether it's Melrose, Midtown, Broadway, West Nashville, the Factory in Franklin, or the brand new location in East Nashville on Gallatin. We were there on Sunday watching the final between Argentina and Spain. Incredible event, hangar space behind the restaurant itself, full bar, all of the Hattie B's excellent menu options, the hot chicken, the sides. Download the Hattie B's app, order for delivery, stack those rewards before you get there. Tomorrow night at Geodis Park, Nashville Soccer Club, back home to host Montreal. If you are in the building, if you win these tickets for What Made You Say Oh No in sports, you can enjoy Hattie B's hot chicken right there in the concourse as you watch the boys in gold. Doors open in just a few minutes. Go to Hattie B's Hot Chicken today. 11 o'clock, good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. SEC Media Days continues into today down in Tampa. Georgia, Auburn, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt making the rounds today. 3HL live from Media Days presented by Wholesale Supply and eSpaces. They will be on the air at 3. A conversation with Clark Lee at 5:20. In NFL news, the Packers agreed to terms with defensive tackle Devontae Wyatt on a 3-year extension worth $57 million, a $20 million signing bonus. The Dolphins have agreed to terms with linebacker Jordan Brooks on a 3-year deal, that one worth over $51 million with $35 in guaranteed money. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
For the opportunity to win a family 4-pack to the upcoming Nashville SC game against Montreal. That's going down tomorrow. Lucas is on the call, as a matter of fact. Your first game back since the World Cup break?
First game post-World Cup break for me. Should be rocking.
615-737-1045 is how you call in to win that family 4-pack. And also, if that wasn't enough, a $100 gift card to a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. But if, and only if, you call in 615-737-1045 and tell us what in sports made you say, oh, no. So we were mentioning the ESPN layoffs. You guys, I think Robert sent this to the chat at some point before we went to see the Odyssey yesterday. ESPN had planned to lay off people today. They did not plan for people to find out yesterday who they were intending to lay off, much less people who were on the air. Ryan Clark, and I don't care really what people think of Ryan Clark. I know some people strongly disagree with his opinions. I'm sure there's stuff that I disagree with. I'm sure there's stuff I agree with. For the most part, I think his football analysis is smart. I really like the hit that he does with Scott Van Pelt after Monday Night Football games. I think that he has a value add at ESPN, and he certainly gets them plenty of attention, even if he steps in it from time to time. But either way, whatever he's making, they felt it necessary to lay him off. He was on the air yesterday during NFL Live, which is one of the best programs on ESPN. And so the ESPN suits felt that news was going to get to Ryan Clark about him being laid off before they informed Ryan Clark that they were going to lay him off. So executives from ESPN went to whichever studio, I'm pretty sure it's the Bristol, Connecticut studio, or if he's on remote, at some point informed him remotely during the show that they would not be retaining him, that he would be laid off as of today. They did this in the middle of a live broadcast, not thinking about the impact that it would have on him or much less the rest of the people that they were not planning on laying off, because what better way to keep the people that you want on your network calm than to fire one of their colleagues, one of their co-hosts, one of their co-workers in the middle of your show, because they couldn't keep a lid on the speculation and the rumors that were getting out there about Ryan Clark. I don't know what the right way to do this, Lucas, but I know that is one of the worst ways, right? Like, even if he finds out on his phone or somebody texts him or whatever, I feel like you do less harm if you just let him finish the show. And I can feel the scared ESPN executives running out there trying to get to him before he finds out that he's getting laid off while he's on live television and maybe does some level of speaking about it on the network, right? Because that's what happened there. They thought he was going to find out while he was on the air, say something about it on the air, and they scrambled down there to try and nix the situation before it happened.
It's a bad look.
It's a terrible look.
It's a bad look. And now that clip of Ryan Clark and Peter Schrager is going around from September, maybe?
Not even that. ESPN aggregated a Ryan Clark opinion yesterday, clipped off a Ryan Clark opinion yesterday from yesterday's programming, his thoughts on the Cowboys, and posted it. As if they didn't just lay his ass off in the middle of a show.
Yeah, someone didn't get the memo.
That's messed up. I mean, you think it's as simple as that? That somebody just, that was a scheduled, they were always going to post whatever Ryan Clark said about the Cowboys? I don't know. I think the whole thing's screwed up. And again, whatever you feel about Ryan Clark personally, I know Ramon thinks highly of him, obviously, because they were teammates together. I'm sure that doesn't mean that Ramon agrees with everything that he says. You don't have to agree with everything that he says to understand that's the wrong way to do somebody.
Brandon Ayuk made me say, oh, no, this past week. And he's done that a lot this year. He went on, not a rant, but had some sort of unhinged post on Instagram that apparently was targeted at Christian McCaffrey. Robert, maybe you could help me out with this. I'm not sure where the McCaffrey part is in here, but Brandon Ayuk, just a black slate on his Instagram with white text, posted 2 days ago, people have career years when 11 on the O. Everybody eat no kizzy. I hold an NFL record for making plays with the least amount of opportunities. I'm looking for my opportunity because I'm going to capitalize and win a bowl. I'm not going to fumble it away. I'm done playing the backseat to folks who not like that. Hashtag true story. Hashtag free Uke. Where's that criticism towards Christian McCaffrey? Like that was...
Or the Crizzy.
I don't know.
But that was the headline going around. But what's making me say, oh, no, is Brandon Ayuk
Just generally
going unhinged on the internet. And at this point, like, is he going to take another snap in the NFL? Like, is Brandon Ayuk even worth the squeeze at this point if you are an NFL organization?
Who was the Bills' first-round pick that was kind of a weirdo? He ended up going to the Chiefs for a little while. He had some, like, conspiracy theory about lizard people and all this different kind of stuff.
Benjamin?
No, not Kelvin Benjamin, not Queen Latifah. That's what he ended up looking like when he got fat.
Queen Latifah was not Precious. Precious was a different woman.
No, I'm saying Kelvin Benjamin, when he got fat, looked like Queen Latifah for a period of time.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant that because Queen Latifah? No, maybe that was Monique.
Either way.
Precious's mother.
Clemson receiver. Sammy Watkins?
Oh, Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins, kind of a weirdo. Kind of got unhinged towards the end. Never like this, though. Never was he giving you reasons almost daily to not hire him as a professional wide receiver. Like Sammy Watkins had some stuff going on there, but not quite to this level.
Whole thing's been weird.
Why would you sign this guy?
Yeah.
Why would you sign this guy? Give me one single solitary reason. Like, whose wide receiver depth chart is so down bad that you're a Brandon Ayuk away from winning, I don't know, 7 games, 8 games? Because you're talking about the dregs of the league at that point, and if you're the dregs of the league, you want to add that to your locker room for a week and a half or however long it takes before he crashes out, respectfully.
It was the Commanders or nobody.
Are we washed because I did not know what is no kizzy? Am I old? Is that
Would you
no
like
cap?
the Urban Dictionary reading?
No.
I mean, can we do? Because I don't think Lucas could have said that in a more Caucasian way
No
than he
kizzy.
did. Okay, very good.
It means no lie or no cap.
No cap.
Okay.
When did no cap become no kizzy?
The sentence for it is incredible. I want some lemonade, no kizzy.
Lemonade. Interesting.
I don't know what the Urban Dictionary reading for is lemonade or if that is actually just the drink.
It's the new no cap.
We've never sounded older.
Or wider. My oh no, I'd like to paint a picture for you guys.
Yeah.
Imagine you are just a regular guy. You got 1,500 followers on Instagram, you got a good job, and you lock down your 10 out of 10 high school sweetheart. Everything is going swimmingly. You spend 5 years together, you're about to pop the question, and all of a sudden, a soccer star follows her on Instagram.
Yeah.
Not just any soccer star. It's Lamine Yamal.
Baby goat.
Lamine Yamal follows your girl on Instagram with his 50 million Instagram followers. She dumps you 2 weeks later. 1 week later, you see her on the stage with Lamine Yamal and the World Cup trophy.
She's on the stage.
3 weeks ago.
Is he Spanish? The ex-boyfriend?
I assume so. 3 weeks ago, she is commenting on a picture of her and her ex-boyfriend saying, "I love you, babe." And now she is playing playfully with Lamine Yamal's brother as he tries to lick the World Cup trophy. Guys, competition is not fair. You cannot give an opportunity to be taken over by these superstar men. You know, I'm living it. I am one of these superstar men. I follow women on Instagram frequently and just think I could have her.
Yes.
I could steal her, but I don't because I'm a good guy. Lamine Yamal, not so much. That's what made me say, oh no. Out here stealing people's girlfriends. You got to let the girls like that just stay with the guy. What? Ariana Grande, she broke up.
No, that's on you for not being the soccer player with 50 million followers.
Oh, stop it.
If you get scooped, it's on you.
No, if you got scooped, you would be mad. You would be upset. You would be jealous because you think of yourself as the clout juice man, If someone else came in with a clout cloud, flying in on it, and just left you juiceless, took all your honeys, you would be upset. That's what made me say, oh, no.
That's tough. That's tough from posting each other on Instagram 3 weeks prior to being on the stage with the with the soccer player.
The picture of them together is enough to make someone be like, yeah, I'm calling out of work for a week.
I mean,
I used to sleep next to this woman. We have a cat together. She said she loved me.
We have a cat together.
Like,
now she's with the man that was graced by Messi as a child.
She's like, I would also like to wash your body. Let me adorn you with oil.
Poor guy.
And it's tough because now this guy is famous for getting scooped. Like now the ex-boyfriend becomes somebody who is recognizable because Jamal got his girl. That's tough. That's really tough. 615-737-1045 is the number. If you have a better submission than the three that we just gave, I don't know if you got a better one than Robert's, but we'll give you the opportunity to win a family 4-pack to see Nashville SC tomorrow at Geodis Park, as well as a $100 gift card to a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. Let's go to the phones and start with Colton in Pulaski.
All right, so my oh no of the week, I don't know if y'all have seen the memes going around, but I guess during the World Cup when they were doing the ceremony, they had a huge blow-up of the trophy on the field. And just as that thing's blowing up and rising, looked like a certain feature of the male body did look very good, but it's made some great memes. I'll listen. Y'all love the show. I'll hang up and listen.
Excellent. Well, don't hang up if you want to win the tickets. Remember to stay on hold for the opportunity to win those tickets. Yeah, the blow-up World Cup trophy looked like an erection.
It was very vascular.
Yeah, I don't know if we got some sponsors on that thing, if we got some Blue Chew, some Viagra floating around there.
Snickers.
Yeah. Snickers.
It looked. You've never.
Snickers?
Snickers are very vascular. If you look at them, it looks like they have veins on the top of it. I thought.
Okay, that's not that does.
I always cut the veins off the top.
Could have been a Tennessee Men's Clinic ad.
How many people in the world have described the Snickers as vascular?
If it's not snickering for you anymore, you need Tennessee Men's Clinic. Give me some money.
Stay away from my Tennessee Men's.
Hey, we're going to see him
Stay away.
We're going to see him in the next segment eating a Snickers from the vending machine during the break. Just going to look in there.
Then I'm going to call HR on him. Pervert. Sterling is in Gallatin.
Yes, my oh no is it's about Victor. I think it's Baker. But he was a defensive tackle at Western Kentucky, who was dismissed from the football team because of not reporting. However, the reason they was not reporting is because in April he lost his mom. So he left to attend the funeral and also grieve. And then on May 26th, the positioning coach called him and asked where he was. And then the next day he was released. I just think there should be some type of empathy in that regards, but that was my oh no.
Yeah, no, I just saw the story, Sterling. Thank you for the call. So I'm reading from WBKO in Bowling Green. A Western Kentucky University football player lost his football scholarship after being listed as a failure to appear on a mandatory date after he says he went back home to be with family after the unexpected death of his mother. Now NCAA rules may keep him out of the sport. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Victory Vaca or Vaka, V-A-K-A, is the player's name. So Western revoked his scholarship. The NCAA has declined him access to finish his collegiate football career at another school.
Oh, this is awful. Have you seen the quote from the coach? He pulled a Ferris Bueller. He said, wheel her body down here and we'll give you the eligibility back.
What?
No, he did not say that.
You ever seen Ferris Bueller where he thinks that they're messing with him on the phone and he's like, wheel her body down here and I'll sign the papers.
Oh, Jesus, Robert.
I said Ferris Bueller up front.
They're saying his 2-month offseason absence left him in a position not to play. So,
do you remember when this happened with Derrick Henry a couple of years ago? So it was Derrick's. I think it was after his rookie season. So the summer after the offseason after his rookie season, he went back to school he went back to Alabama to go back to school. to finish his degree. And he missed some kind of mandatory report date. And Jarrell Casey took him out. Took him out in the locker room. Now I know who I can trust. Now I know who I can rely on. Mike Mularkey had a whole thing about it. It was this was, again, before Derek had the profile of who Derrick Henry was. And he just simply didn't inform them that he was what he was doing, or it was a miscommunication, essentially. And nothing obviously happened to Derek. Nothing significant. I don't know if he got fined or something like that, but this is a terrible story.
There's probably a lot more to it, but that's terrible.
Well, we hope that there's a resolution for the young man. All right, Dan in Lewisburg.
Hey guys, my no is with the World Cup. While Fox was broadcasting the event, the announcer, as they was doing a camera sweep, called out Brad Pitt's in attendance. Come to find out, he didn't know his actors. It was actually Matt Damon with his wife, Luciana Barrazo, and the Fox commentators co-host said, "Oh, no, that's not Brad Pitt, that's Matt Damon." What a bonehead that was.
Thank you for the call. Yeah, I did see that clip making the rounds. Michael in Gallatin was the last one.
Hey, how's it going? My no has to be the Ohio State fan they got unhinged on Twitter going after DGG on a post and sending him a DM as well. That's ridiculous.
Thank you for the call, Lucas. I'm sure that happens all the time. But
yeah, don't tweet recruits. It's going to happen.
Yeah, man. Leave the high school kid.
Literally kids.
You are a grown-ass man tweeting a high schooler about what university he's going to pick, or harassing a high schooler about what university he's going to pick because you're such a football fan. You're not a football fan. You're just a loser. Don't do that. That's bad form.
That's a good submission.
Yeah, that's probably as good as anyone. I mean, Sterling's is sad. I hate to hear that, and hopefully that situation is figured out as best as humanly possible. But yeah, anytime you're tweeting or DMing recruits about their decision, Ohio State fans, Tennessee fans, any fan, don't do it. Well done by Michael. All right, we will jump into one big thing.
Well, wait.
What? Well, wait, what?
Who won?
I just said Michael.
Oh.
Literally.
You said, well done, Michael. I just thought you were saying good job. You didn't say Michael wins the tickets? I didn't know.
Didn't I?
Yeah, Michael's our winner.
Okay, very good. Michael wins the tickets.
See you at Geodis Park tomorrow night. Get some Hattie B's while you're there.
One big thing about Georgia, Auburn, Vandy, and it says Beamer, but I assume that means South Carolina coming up next.
The guaranteed offer is the simplest, least stressful way to sell your home. You go to our website, you fill out a quick form, we set an appointment, we bring you an all-cash offer. Literally, there's no lockbox on the front of your house, there's no showings, we pay all cash, we close in as little as 21 days, stress-free. We've helped thousands of homeowners just like you sell your home the hassle-free way with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate.
Our sports stores, making sure that they got reinforcements on the golf balls. Hopefully, Knoxville's ready for his arrival.
That's Josh Heupel talking about Lane Kiffin's return to Neyland Stadium in 2026, leading the LSU Tigers. So day one of SEC Media Days down. Welcome back. We're fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. And who had Josh Heupel with the spiciest comment? Now, it was a mild spice level.
Delivered in the most monotone way humanly possible.
Sure, if we're talking about Hattie B's.
I got to make sure that the sports stores have golf balls.
It was a layup.
Next time that Lane comes to town.
Easy layup of a joke for Heupel on Kiffin returning, but Josh Heupel saying that and Will Stein saying he's the reason Kentucky's going to be good. The two most notable quotes to come out of day one of SEC Media Days, where we obviously don't really learn a lot about these teams. We're just there to unofficially kick off the 2026 season.
Besides John Mateer saying yesterday that we don't really look at defenses.
I mean, that's kind of what what quarterback for Colorado said that?
Julian Lewis.
Julian Lewis.
He said, you don't really have time to think. You just throw to the guy that's open.
What an amazing concept.
I would like to hear that question, what the question was. Because, what if that question was, I don't know, the tweet said that he was asked about reading defenses, but I don't know. Maybe it was framed in a way that maybe talking about, deciding when to run.
Robert's
or when
digging it up.
Okay. Well,
Robert's
anyway, one big thing on the team speaking today.
Now, quickly, just while Robert is pulling up, before we get into today's slate, and obviously coaches and players will have talked by now, at least at some point. Clark Lee is going to speak in an hour, just about. So we will have some updates from the Vanderbilt coach at some point. Oklahoma, the program with the highest expectations of the four that went yesterday. Fair or foul?
Of the four that went yesterday.
So that's Tennessee, that's Oklahoma.
Kentucky and Missouri.
Mizzou? Where's Mizzou this year?
It's Oklahoma. I mean, Missouri.
Because Oklahoma's got the returning quarterback.
Yeah.
He should be healthier, obviously, not dealing with his hand stuff.
The one big thing I had you weren't here yesterday, for Oklahoma was stop the pendulum swing, because that's what it's been in the Brent Venables era. It's been 6 wins, 10 wins. 6 wins, 10 wins. So you're coming off 10 wins in a playoff appearance. Now you have continuity at the quarterback position. Can that pendulum stop from swinging back over to barely bowl eligible in 2026 for Brent Venables? But yeah, out of yesterday's teams, Oklahoma, highest expectation. And that's because we can't sit here and say that Tennessee has higher expectations than Oklahoma when we don't know who the starter is going to be at quarterback. But for Georgia, the one big thing is if anybody can stop this run of Big Ten national champions, can it be Georgia to get back to the top? They are 0-2 in their last 2 college football playoff appearances. They have not had a top 5 defense in terms of total defense, opponent yards per game, since 2021. You look at different metrics, ESPN's SP Plus metric, Georgia has not been top 5 in that category since 2022. So obviously, the returning parts and pieces on defense. Gunnar Stockton is back at quarterback. Georgia will be sort of looked at as a team that can take up that mantle as the SEC looks to reclaim a national title crown. And Kirby Smart, who is now the longest tenured head coach in the SEC since they fired Mark Stoops, is sort of the alpha dog of the conference that has not won a playoff game in over 3 years at this point.
They've got a really young roster. As far as Georgia goes, Kirby Smart, not necessarily the elder statesman at SEC Media Days, but he's one of the most prominent voices in the room, should be.
I mean, he is the elder statesman. Like I said, he's the longest tenured coach in the league.
Yeah. So you look at what Kirby Smart has done. Did you guys talk about Dabo at all while I was out? Because we spent a lot of time on Dabo on the 2 Fox shows that I did on Friday and Saturday. Kirby, to me, is what Dabo should be. Somebody who has accomplished a lot. The sport has now changed, and he is not resting on his laurels. What was the Feinbaum line that you brought up that was eviscerating Dabo? I'm tired of hearing about how good Dabo Swinney used to be or how good Clemson used to be. Kirby doesn't do that. That to me is the way that a coach with that kind of pedigree, Dabo Swinney, Kirby Smart, should be carrying themselves in these situations. Kirby, to me, still projects that hunger. Dabo is just kind of like, what do you mean? I'm great. Let him hire somebody better than me.
Yeah. The one big thing for Auburn is be fun. Alex Golish, year one at Auburn.
Just be fun.
Auburn has been
so relatable,
so dreadful to watch over the last few years. The offensive experience under Hugh Freeze has been an absolute nightmare. It's been turnover laden. At no point have they felt like they've established any sort of trajectory, not at the quarterback position or offensively as a whole, despite some high-level talent that came through in the Hugh Freeze years. I mean, Auburn fans are going to look back at the Cam Coleman experience at Auburn and think about what could have been as he's catching touchdowns from Arch Manning now at Texas and is set to be a top 5, top 10 draft pick if all goes well for Coleman in a loaded receiver class. But think to what Heupel did in year one at Tennessee, but Alex Golish has a higher talent profile of a roster to toy with, and he's got a quarterback that he's worked with before to work with as well, and Byron Brown, who he said today he believes is the best quarterback in the country. But from USF, experience in that system, now stepping up a level, but very different from what Alex Golish, as the offensive coordinator for Heupel, experienced in 2021, where it's Joe Milton and then switched over to Hendon Hooker. The cupboard was bare. Tennessee was, on like 60 scholarships in 2021, and they scratched out a 7-5 season and lost the bowl game. So a 7-6 campaign. Auburn's ceiling feels higher than that with the talent that's there and an established player at quarterback. But Auburn fans are desperate to have fun again when they watch their football team. And you don't have to be knocking on the door of a college football playoff for the season to be fun for Auburn fans. And that's the challenge for Alex Golish in 2026.
I mean, you could have basically run that same thing the year that Freeze got hired, right? Just be fun. That was kind of the point.
And they were not fun.
They were not fun
at any
all.
point. The Hugh Freeze experience was like nails on a chalkboard the entire time.
The first week they were fun was the week that they fired him. When they came here to West End, when they put up, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that game was insane.
The Vandy game was wild.
That was insane.
I mean, just completely ridiculous. And you're just looking around being like, how the hell did this happen?
But it was just, and they pushed Bama in the Iron Bowl last year, but no, it was just a revolving door at quarterback. Alex Golish comes in with that offensive pedigree and now 3 years of head coaching experience and a successful tenure at South Florida. People down there are really, really excited about the Alex Golish experience at Auburn.
One big thing for Vanderbilt football, Clark Lee will speak later this afternoon. He will also be on 3HL today.
No need to overthink this, right? But can you sustain post Diego Pavia? We should get Adam Sparks on sometime later this week because he is obviously on the Tennessee beat of Knox News. Used to cover Vanderbilt football. He's actually covering Vanderbilt for USA Today at Media Days too. So we should get him on because his coverage of both will be interesting to listen to and his perspective of both quarterback situations where there's a couple parallels in that each have a 5-star true freshman that is new to college football and is trending towards being the starter. It feels more secure that Jared Curtis will start for Vanderbilt than Faison Brandon for Tennessee, but it's not a slam dunk, it appears, right now with Blaise Berlowitz in the picture. I'm fascinated at what the quarterback situation looks like for Vanderbilt. And as you look at their schedule for 2026, you wonder, is there an opportunity to ease your starting quarterback into the season? Because you open with Austin Peay and then Delaware at home in week 2. So is Vanderbilt going to be determined to just throw Jared Curtis into the fire in week 1? The first power conference opponent they play is NC State in week 3, and then they go to Auburn in week 4. But can you sustain post Diego Pavia is the most obvious question, maybe of any team at SEC Media Days, right?
Oh, yeah. The Jared Curtis situation, the quarterback situation of Vanderbilt is going to be fascinating to see what they actually decide to do. And I'd be curious to see what other questions he's asked at his podium availability regarding the things that are so important to sustaining, not just the level of quarterback play. Obviously, the quarterback play is important, but how are they doing in the trenches? How are they rebuilding that offensive line? There are so many things. How are they going to continue to find ways to play the kind of physical football in the most physical conference? Well, I guess. Are we still giving Lucas that the SEC is the most physical football conference? Or have we taken that from him when the Big Ten won the national championship?
I mean, the Big Ten is ruling the roost right now, make no mistake. But you tell me, where will you get more physical football? When you see Mississippi State play Auburn or when you see Maryland play Rutgers?
When you watch Michigan and Ohio State play. You don't throw Rutgers and Maryland at me as if they've been some kind of long-time Big Ten institution. They got here so we could grab some money, all right? They are here for the TV dollars.
Depth of the conference.
That's
what we're talking about.
That's all it is. Depth of the SEC will always be better than the Big Ten. There's no question. One big thing about it just says Shane Beamer. Are you doing one big thing on Shane Beamer?
I don't know. I don't think I put it in there like that, but maybe that was a brain fart. And maybe it was a Freudian slip because it's about Shane Beamer.
It's his new, what was the former Chargers? It's his new Staley. He's just going to.
No, I got nothing against Shane Beamer.
I don't think that's true. I think you think he's corny.
When have I ever
I think you think
slandered Shane Beamer
I
on
feel
this
like
show?
that's, I'm sure we could find that.
Here's what I'll say about Shane Beamer.
Putting the burden on us to be like, go find whatever I said bad.
I like Shane Beamer. Like, I'm entertained when I listen to him speak. I don't have any disdain for Shane Beamer. I'm happy Shane Beamer's not my head football coach.
Yeah, but if you don't have disdain from him, you don't have disdain for him, you're not threatened by him.
Exactly.
You're not threatened by him.
The thing for South Carolina is, as Don would say, Shiano or get off the pot. Because at this point, Shane Beamer, who is in year 6 just like Josh Heupel, but is coming off.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they've been in it the same amount of time, but 2025 was an abject disaster for South Carolina football. Disaster for a team that coming into the season had all these college football playoff hopes and expectations. Lenora Sellers, the centerpiece on offense. Dylan Stewart, the centerpiece on defense. Either one, both of those guys could very well be first-round draft picks in 2026. 4-8 was the result. They run it back with those guys. They retained Lenora Sellers and Dylan Stewart. They spent big money in the portal to address the offensive tackle situation. South Carolina cannot afford to have anything even remotely close to what you saw in 2025. Now, South Carolina is not a school that's firing coaches for not getting to the college football playoff, for not winning 10 or 11 games. So if you're Shane Beamer, you do have to show some level of success here. You have to show something in that 9-win range, in my mind, for anybody to think you're going to do anything of note at South Carolina.
I think Lenora Sellers is also kind of passively working against him, right? Because Lenora Sellers is somebody who's got the athletic talents that are going to make him intriguing to the NFL, but he's not skilled as a quarterback, right? He's just kind of winging it out there. He is making that coaching staff, and again, they're not doing very well because it is so unorganized, or it looks so unorganized as a product. But he is probably propping up that coaching staff more than they otherwise should be because he can bail you out of certain situations. So a lot, I think, hinges on the fact that you're paying Lenora Sellers a lot of money to come back and not declare for the NFL draft this year. And if they don't achieve at a reasonably high level for South Carolina with an incredibly talented quarterback, again, not skilled, but talented, which you can win with in the game of college football, then I think that probably serves to get him fired.
Nick Harbor will be back. This guy can be a true one in the SEC. He broke out a little bit last year. He's kind of an underrated, an under-the-radar name, I think, in this loaded wide receiver class that if he has a big 2026 could rise up draft boards, could have declared for the draft last year, opted to come back for 2026. I don't think there's a coach on a hotter seat than Shane Beamer, I would say, in 2026 in the SEC.
Ooh.
I mean, is there anybody else that you feel...
In this, going into this season?
Yeah, facing the most pressure for immediate success. It's got to happen here.
Okay,
Didn't Bama try to pivot last year?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that they're going to get fired, but I think Kiffin and DeBoer are in way more pressurized situations.
Absolutely.
So maybe
writ large, they're in more fishbowl situations. I am zooming into 2026 and looking at coaches and saying, no, we need you to show something now, or you're probably not going to be the head coach in 2027. If LSU goes 7-5,
they're not going to fire him.
They're not going to fire Lane after
they're
1 year.
Be pissed.
Probably.
They're going to be pissed.
But in terms of hot seat, I don't think there's a seat hotter than Shane Beamer's.
That's probably true. I can't think of anything else that jumps off the page.
It's kind of like we do this where every other year it feels like the coaching carousel in the SEC heats up.
Like we didn't lose any 2 years ago, and this offseason is just a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting fired in the season.
Yeah, well, Arkansas,
Who was
Auburn,
the first one to go? Was
Florida.
it Pittman? Who was the first one to get fired last year? Because I remember watching that Notre Dame-Arkansas game and being like, oh, Sam Pittman is going to get fired.
Yeah. So there's a lot of new blood in the SEC as well. And of the guys that are now getting into that second or third phase of their tenure, Josh Heupel included, but Shane Beamer, to me, faces the most immediate pressure.
615-737-1045 is the number if you want to join the conversation. Get back to some college football discussion a little later on. We're going to talk about what the hell Tom Brady's doing coming up next. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. 11 o'clock, all their Middle Tennessee locations open for business. East Nashville, packed for the World Cup final at the Hattie B's location. The staff that was in there, bless them. They were busting their ass to make sure that we all got the hot chicken and beer and all the other great things I saw. Did you get a peach cobbler? Did I see you with a peach cobbler at one point?
No,
I think one of your friends got French fries and ice cream,
banana pudding and ice cream. Yeah, they got it all. They got it all.
It's all good stuff. If you download the Hattie B's app and you order via the Hattie B's app, you get a free dessert. What's better than that? What the hell is Tom Brady doing on the internet? Can you help me understand why he and Jake Paul or why he is slapping Jake Paul in the face at Fanatics Fest? We have somebody shadowing us today, and she asked, is Tom Brady the one that kisses his sons on the mouth? And I responded, yes, you should do this job.
His lasting legacy.
Absolutely. Tom Brady does, in fact, kiss his sons on the mouth.
You guys didn't kiss your dad on the mouth?
No.
Just like even I love you peck. I had to shower with my dad. Did y'all have to shower with y'all's dad when y'all was a little kid?
Like a little kid, I'm sure.
How little are we talking?
Like, I don't know, like 2 or 3.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
You just hop
you have
in there.
Memories at 2 and 3 years old? I don't remember anything.
That thing slapping me in the head. Like, come on, guys. I get the back, you get the front, and then we switch. Daddy, you know the rules.
No. That's not how that went down. Don't do that to your father.
I love you, Daddy.
My family's Egyptian, so we do the cheek kiss, right? When you greet each other, you kiss each other on the opposite cheek, right? You go for a peck here, peck there.
Yep.
That's what you do. So you do that with men and women.
Yep.
But not like,
Yeah, you kiss your daddy too. You're just as weird as I am. Those things are equal. Those things are equal.
What you've just described, being eye level with it is crazy.
It's like the microphone that comes down in boxing events.
So
we have company in here today.
So he's like a boom mic. So
it was booming, all right.
So Tom Brady's doing like some
Talking
weird
about your father
WWE thing with Logan Paul. Like, what are they even promoting?
Well, but I don't. That's the thing. Is it a WWE thing? Like, is Tom Brady just angling for a paycheck? Is that what happened? Because I saw a video of them at the World Cup final. They're sitting like 50 feet from one another, and they're just flipping each other the bird, like that meme where it's just two guys in the middle of the street. Nobody's fighting, but you're just walking opposite directions and flipping one another off. What are they doing?
It's a bit. Same thing we're doing. Like, I can't believe when it happened, everyone's like, is this real?
We're not doing a bit.
This is so fake. Of course it's fake. It's Logan Paul, who is involved with WWE. Like, the fact that people are so surprised by this is what got me. Like, oh, this is dumb.
I'm surprised that he's just bored, Brady?
No, he's selling things. Tom Brady is trying to get his name attached to things. Logan Paul, he's got an energy drink. He's got Prime. He's got WWE. They both have good opportunities to have with name recognition.
Have we talked about the name of Brady's coconut water?
What is it?
Go ahead, you say it. I'm not saying it.
Good Nut.
Are you serious?
Google it.
Good Lord.
The commercial is ridiculous.
The thing is literally called Good Nut.
TMZ is reporting that Brady is having ongoing conversations with WWE.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what this is.
Yeah, it's to build to this. It's to build to something. They're going to probably have a show in New England or somewhere where Tom Brady could get a good pop. He'll come out, cost Logan Paul or his team a win, and that's what they're just building this. It's a social media buzz thing. It's at Fanatics Fest, which is solely built for social media buzz.
See, Logan Paul slapped him in the lead up to the UFC event. And then they were doing their little middle finger duel at the World Cup final.
Well,
on
he
Sunday.
slapped.
Brady
Paul.
slapped Paul,
which was bad. As far as a work slap,
yeah, he's not going to be good at this.
Well, I mean, if you're ever going to slap someone, and it's for WWE or whatever, just do it. Just talk beforehand and be like, "Hey, dude, just slap the hell out of me. Just slap the hell out of me. I'll get over it."
When's the last time you've been slapped? Either of you?
Probably in a professional wrestling capacity.
What? When were you in a professional wrestling capacity?
You don't listen to me at all. I'm not going to go through my whole history with you, but you know this. You know that I have been in and around professional wrestling for a long time.
You got a buddy, right?
Literally, his profile picture has always been
me
him
as a referee,
like refereeing,
holding title belts I was a pro wrestling
referee. I don't know
referee
that I ever looked at your picture
for 6 years.
Oh.
I've refereed for like Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy.
We've talked about this?
Yes.
Like a foundational piece of Robert lore.
No, I mean, I know he wrestled in high school and he pooped himself in a singlet, but beyond that, I didn't have the rest of this.
Wow. You really think you know a guy?
Sorry, buddy.
Shame.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, am I stick in the mud for thinking that this is beneath Tom Brady?
Yeah, only because
I don't
Tom
think
Brady
he's
doesn't.
going to be good at it.
I don't think he'll be bad. They can put him in a position to succeed. They're going to get what they both want out of it. Tom wants to push something, whether it's good nut or anything else that he's going to be associated with.
I guess, and me as, like a very simple human being, my natural response to it is like, dude, like you're Tom Brady.
That's what
You've
I'm
got this
saying.
mega deal. You're a part owner of the freaking Raiders. You got all these business dealings. Like you need to do this. You got to throw this on top of all of it.
Does he have a prenup?
I don't know. How the hell do I know that?
I feel like it would be fairly public if Giselle and Tom Brady did or did not have a prenup.
Yeah,
You know
I mean,
what I'm saying?
she definitely was the breadwinner.
If he's got she doesn't need Tom Brady's money.
She made way more money than he did at any point in his football career.
Well,
without
he's now closer to what she was earning,
Probably,
but
yeah.
not even close during his football career.
Triple Mania, which is AAA. It's the Mexican affiliate with WWE. There's a pro wrestling thing down there with like Lucha Libre and all that stuff. They have Triple Mania 34 in Las Vegas, September 11th.
Okay, so he's going to do something in Vegas.
I imagine they will build up to something for him.
Somebody says, keep safe search on when Googling Tom Brady's water. Yeah, the name Good Nut is crazy. Like, is he just trying to do that for shock value?
If you see the commercial, yes. They make it very obvious that this is a bit.
I wonder what it's like to be Brady's kids and go from what was like a relatively, I feel like, private home, personal situation with Brady.
He's super boring during his playing career.
Yeah, most of his career. Tom Brady was never in TMZ other than when he was on a red carpet with Giselle or something.
It took him being blackout drunk at the Bucs parade after he won his 7th when he just stopped caring, and now we have avocado tequila Tom Brady.
But that's what I'm saying. What must it be like as a kid to just be growing up with your dad? And yes, your dad's Tom Brady. That is inherently abnormal. But then to see him in his late 40s and into 50s turn into this like mogul. He's doing WWE stuff and like sketches
Cartoon
and
character.
He's just everywhere. He's everywhere.
I don't know how old his kids are. I think it depends because his kids have to be close to college age.
Probably at least teenagers.
I would say they're for sure in high school. They're probably on the precipice of college.
18, 16, and 13.
Yeah.
Jack, Benjamin, and Vivian.
Yeah, so the 13-year-old probably thinks he's a dork still. I mean, because I always thought he was a dork. Like he's kind of a, like Tom Brady's not cool, right? And now he's trying to be cool guy and do all this stuff, and that's fine. Like he's the most successful quarterback in the history of the sport. The job is not to be cool. The job is to go win football games. But beyond, like, we made jokes about the cringy kissing his son on the mouth and stuff like that. Tom Crean did something like that too. I can't talk too much smack when that also exists in my program's history. But yeah, Brady was always kind of, I don't know, just kind of a goober. And now all the Botox and the hairline replacement and all these different things. And now Tom Brady is Netflix entrepreneur, $37.5 million a year for Fox to do, how many, does he do 18 football games a year? And a playoff game? Probably. 615-737-1045. The number, if you want to jump in, are you going to do your soccer stuff now?
I'm headed to Nashville SC's facility.
Okay, very good.
I thought you were going to be back. You're going to leave me here?
Of course I am. I love you.
I love you too.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow,
You don't say that to me, unless you're drunk and smoking cigarettes out of your nostrils.
I stopped saying it to you because you don't say it back.
I don't say it back.
You go, that's sweet, honey. Then tap me on the shoulder.
Is there any more it's over thing than that? You're very sweet.
You hit me with the Han Solo. Like Princess Leia's like, I love you. I know.
You're very
and they
sweet.
freeze him in carbonite.
You're very sweet. All right. We'll keep the SEC Media Days conversation going. Coming up next. It's the final hour for us on this Tuesday. We're happy to have you. Lucas had to scurry off to Nashville SC's training facility. They have a match tomorrow against Montreal. I have not been to a Nashville SC game this year. Robert and I are contemplating going to tomorrow's match because apparently they are significantly better than Montreal. And what better way to dip our toe back into the MLS scene, Robert, than watching the local team just whip the snot out of somebody?
That's what I'm here for. You remember in Longest Yard, Adam Sandler was getting asked, hey, what did you guys do when you really needed to whip your team into shape? The prison guards are asking him. We'd schedule some cupcake like Appalachian State and beat the hell out of them.
Yep.
This is our cupcake.
Okay, very good. So App State of MLS is coming to town. Montreal tomorrow at Geodis. Lucas is on the call for that, so you can listen to it on The Zone, or you can listen to The Zone's broadcast on Apple TV while you watch the Apple TV broadcast. They have that option for you as well. SEC Media Days continue on. 3HL is down there doing great work. They have a number of different guests. They had the entire Tennessee contingent yesterday, including Josh Heupel. And you can hear that via their podcast. They will speak to, they did speak to Will Stein as well yesterday, the Kentucky coach. They'll have Clark Lee on later this afternoon. I believe Brent Doherty said that interview is scheduled for 5:20 Central Time from Tampa. But Will Stein is an interesting figure in the SEC this year. So he is the new Kentucky coach. It's his first SEC Media Days, and he's asked why he thought, I believe we have the audio, why he thought he could win big at a school that doesn't win big in football.
This is going to sound like really, I think because of me, to be honest. I think because of me. I think I know what it takes. I've seen it at the highest levels. I know what it takes to recruit at this level. And you just got to believe, man. You just got to put the ball down and play. There's not really else to be said. Is it going to happen overnight? I don't know. I really don't. If I had a crystal ball, everybody in this room would be really, really rich right now. I don't. And so the best determination of if what you're doing is working is putting the ball down and playing football. And so there's going to be bumps in the road. I mentioned it in the speech. Like, I'm prepared for tough moments and tough times. I've succumbed to that in our process, right? I already do self-talk myself about, all right, how can I stay neutral? When stuff's bad, I can stay as neutral as possible and be very diplomatic in my approach. So that's why. I mean, growing up a fan is great. It is one thing, but I know the players that we can get here. I know that we can recruit north, south, and east. People come to Lexington and love it. I mean, the longer I live there, the longer I'm like, wow, this place is incredible. It's got everything that you want. Great food, great nightlife, great community, great university. It's safe. You got Big Blue Nation. It takes some TLC, and you got to go attack. You can't sit back and wait. That's one thing I refuse to do at Kentucky is the wait. And so I'm really excited about our administration, the direction that it's going. Again, I said I was so fired up that Mitch brought me here. I'm also excited about what the future holds. And so that's why I'm excited. That's why I believe. Or else I wouldn't have taken the job. I would have stayed out at Oregon and coached Dante and stayed out there.
So that's Will Stein speaking at the podium. And what I brought up with 3HL, if you were listening in the first hour, if you missed today's show, you can always check out the podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. 3HL in its entirety. What were we for an hour? For 20 minutes?
6HL.
6HL. So the three of us and the three of them. Dawn then chastised me for not including Joseph. I said, Joseph is included in your radio program plenty.
And if it was 7HL, that's just work day. Like, you can't have a 7-hour lunch. That's ridiculous.
So we had the entirety of 3HL on in the first hour. And I brought up Will Stein's comments within the context of Curt Cignetti, who is the Indiana football coach and the defending national champion, who was unlikely. Also at a program who had less accomplishments than Kentucky football. Kentucky football has been a significantly better program within the SEC than Indiana football has ever been until the last 2 seasons, culminating in the national championship. So this reminded me of Curt Cignetti. There's plenty of, and you can tell, right? The reason it reminds me of Cignetti is because when Curt Cignetti got hired at Indiana, the thing that most football coaches do when they're introduced is show up at a basketball game, because it is famously I wish. But it is famously a basketball school. So he shows up at a game in the regular season, and he gets the mic, and he says, Purdue sucks. And the crowd goes nuts, because that's Indiana's biggest rival, in-state rival. And then he lets the crowd go for a little bit, and then he goes, but so do Ohio State and Michigan.
And the
Go
crowd
Hoosiers.
goes, wow.
Crowd goes crazy. Crowd goes crazy. And I see this clip making rounds, and I'm not at the game, obviously, but I see the clip going around, and I have no idea that we just hired a new football coach, and I don't know where the hell we got this man and who he is, what his level of accomplishments are, right? Many people didn't. He got to a podium later and then said, Google me, right? Curt Cignetti at every turn has this bravado where it can be considered cockiness, but there is something to the confidence that he brought in. He made me believe that Indiana football could actually compete. Now, I never would have believed that Indiana football would win a national championship, and until I was in Miami, in Hard Rock Stadium, watching Fernando Mendoza on 4th and 5 scramble for one of the most impressive touchdowns I've ever seen in a championship performance. I still don't believe it. Will Stein doesn't have quite as big a hill to climb as Curt Cignetti did at Indiana. But I feel that authenticity, if it is in fact authentic, will shine through if he keeps that energy. He's going to have to manifest this into existence, because Kentucky football, there are resources being dedicated there now. I'm sure that the bulk of the budget, I haven't looked at Kentucky's revenue sharing model or revenue sharing situation. I would imagine that Kentucky basketball is still very, very well resourced relative to the football program, relative to its SEC member institutions, right? If you looked at the percentage that Kentucky basketball is getting versus Auburn basketball or LSU basketball, whichever other SEC program you want to name, I'm sure the split is still pretty heavily favored for Kentucky basketball. So Will Stein, I don't fault him for getting up there and puffing his chest out a little bit. And you know immediately as soon as you say, I think it's because of me. I think it's going to be because of me. We're going to win because of me. You know that you're going to get attention that way. Now you have to pay it off. Curt Cignetti paid it off. There are plenty of coaches who have gotten up there and said the thing and then don't have the ability, the fortitude, the discipline, a number of different things that come with that job that make it so difficult, that make it a CEO type of position as much as an actual coaching position, that allow it to get off the ground. Curt Cignetti's probably a unicorn. I don't like comparing Indiana and Vanderbilt, for example, because I think Indiana is a shooting star, a meteor. Like you may go 100 years without seeing a story like that again. Vanderbilt didn't get to the mountaintop, obviously. They didn't make the college football playoff even. And Indiana has done it now twice under Cignetti. But I even think that the degree of difficulty of what Indiana did is so difficult to replicate, is damn near impossible to replicate. Something like that may happen in the future, but there's no guarantee that it will. Will Stein is walking into a situation where there's an interest in football, but it's not going to be the primary thing that drives interest in athletics at Kentucky. He's going to have to find a way to make that work because, Robert, I mean, the difference that a winning football program makes on your campus for admissions, for the business of your university, it is so funny to watch Indiana realize that you can make money off college football. And just to see the overwhelming amount of resources that are now being poured into a football program that has, I mean, I think Indiana's football stadium might be smaller than Vanderbilt's as the defending national champion. They have seen a huge boon in interest in that university because whatever college basketball, their bread and butter is at its peak, it's never going to match the excitement of college football. It's just so much bigger.
I mean, even how much a singular win can do for some programs. I remember when App beat Michigan at Michigan, how big of a deal it was. The next year, Appalachian State reported that they had like upwards of 20% higher admissions. All you would expect, all due to that one game, that one win, and what that did for them.
So if I'm a Kentucky football fan, that's what I want to hear. If I'm a football fan generally, like Heupel doesn't do the rah-rah beat our chest thing. He's very flat. He's not going to give media anything to really work with at a podium. Now, he's got some moments on the sideline. He's got some moments in game that would be that level of inspiration. But I also think that for a fan base, you need a little bit of an inspiring figure, especially for one as tormented as Tennessee has been in the last couple of years. I think Clark Lee leads in a different fashion. The personalities of these head coaches are so interesting to see how they play out at the podium and then how they do or do not translate necessarily to the identity of their football team and to the culture that they're trying to bring to their respective universities. If I'm a Kentucky football fan, though, I'm happy to hear that somebody has a standard for my program because it would be easy. It would be easy for them to be forgotten about. It would be easy for you to shrug your shoulders and be like, okay, we had a fun run with Stoops. Football's not going to go back to not mattering. Let's gear up for basketball season, and hopefully Mark Pope gets his stuff together and we can win at a higher level and achieve in the sport that we want to achieve in. I think it also helps that, as Dawn mentioned, or somebody mentioned in our 3HL visit earlier today, that he grew up a Kentucky fan, that he was a part of the Louisville athletic department, but he grew up a Kentucky fan. So not only do you get the combination of somebody who's been accomplished, had success at Oregon, you saw them in the college football playoff last year. Now they got dusted by Indiana, but, I'm not going to nitpick. Could have, as he said, worked with Dante Moore, who's projecting as a first-round pick again in the upcoming NFL draft. And I'm sure Oregon will have a successful football season with or without Will Stein. But Will Stein is somebody with a proven track record of success that actually cares about your program because he's seen it. He's seen what it used to look like, and he has the vision, or he's saying that he has the vision of what he wants to build it into now. And I think that's of all the things that you can actually learn at SEC Media Days, and I give Lucas a hard time because I don't think there's a ton. It's a living, breathing preview magazine, and that's fine. It gets us excited for college football, gets us thinking about things in college football again, starts to get those gears churning, shake off the rust a little bit. But I'm learning more about the personalities of these coaches and how they project as much as I will how their football teams are going to do, at least in this week right now. 615-737-1045, the number. If you want to jump in, you are welcome to do so. The quote here that I really liked from him, you can't sit back and wait. That's the one thing I refuse to do at Kentucky is wait. You have to hit the ground running. You have to come in and show people that you're serious. And I think that they're trying to show people that they're serious. Now, whether that'll actually matter in the landscape of this thing, whether it's a year-over-year proposition or if Will Stein's just going to have to pick his spots and find windows where Kentucky can have a better season, I don't know what the expectation is in Lexington for Kentucky fans right now.
Did you feel like him saying, the thing I took from that statement was, and you have to do it with tact? Was he looking at Lane Kiffin side-eyed when he said that? You can't just come in and change everything. It takes time. It takes TLC. You have to have it with some do it with some tact.
Everybody's taking shots at Lane. Heupel's taking monotone shots at Lane. Will Stein's taking parting shots at Lane.
I don't know if that's what he was doing, but
do I want Lane Kiffin to do well?
Yeah, because it's going to tick everybody else off when he does it.
I think I want Lane Kiffin to do well. Like, I don't root for Lane. I don't have the history with him that Tennessee fans obviously do. And I know there are still some who are out there holding a grudge. And, I don't know, Lane Kiffin has a lot of personality traits that I can relate to. I think I would like to see Lane Kiffin do well. We can continue the college football conversation, talk a little Vandy and Tennessee. Tennessee spoke yesterday, Vandy today. We're also going to carry a portion of Clark Lee's press conference. He is scheduled to speak at 12:30 from Tampa, so we will do all of that coming up next. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. We got a shoe drive going on. Well, Ramon has a shoe drive going on. Every child deserves to start school with confidence. 104.5 The Zone's Ramon Foster, proud to host the Kickoff Confidence Shoe Drive, benefiting children served by From Your Father, a Middle Tennessee nonprofit supporting single mothers and their children. As families prepare for a new school year, backpacks and school supplies are often available through community drives, but finding a brand new pair of shoes in the right size is much harder. Shoes need to fit, last, and carry kids through long school days, recess, PE, and everything in between. So today, we're asking you guys to show up for children across Middle Tennessee. You can sponsor a child through this program for just $55 by donating on the link at 1045thezone.com. Because when you guys show up, kids win. So we appreciate you for doing just that, and always appreciate Ramon Foster for stepping up for the youths.
He's such a stud, dude. Like, I put Ramon over a lot, but this is one of the coolest thing he does every single year. You should see the looks on these kids' faces when they're told that they can go in and get whatever they want. Go pick whatever shoes out you want. Go pick out whatever you need, and Big Dog's got the bill. That's cool as hell, because a lot of those kids don't ever get the opportunity to get what they want. They only get what they need. So I love that he does this, and it just shows you how big his heart is.
Well, and children are cruel. If you show up to school in tattered shoes and things like that, like, you can't protect your kids from the world. And I say that, I mean, again, we are a show that has no children. None of the three of us have children. I guess four. None of the four of us have children. So far be it from me to talk about how the school experience goes, but I do remember being a kid, and I do remember kids making fun of other kids for the way they look or the way they dress or all these different things. So if you have the opportunity to give a kid some confidence because shoes a little worn down or a little ratty looking, and they can go in there and get a new pair and be ready to show all their friends and all their buddies on a playground how cool their new shoes are, courtesy of Ramon Foster and this great program. We always appreciate the way you guys step up for us when we ask you to help support various causes that are here locally. Ramon absolutely leaning full in to helping the youth of Middle Tennessee, so we hope you will help him in his efforts. When is the shoe drive itself? Well, I guess it's an ongoing thing, right? I didn't know if there was like a day that he's going to buy the shoes.
There will be. I don't think we know that day for sure yet, but it'll be a ramp-up period. You hit the nail on the head, though, with confidence. Like, I was a kid. I wasn't, like, super poor, but, like, I didn't get new clothes to go back to school in. So I was always self-conscious about that. Like, people are going to make fun of my busted shoes. Like, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's
just got to eat it.
Just got to eat it. It's the situation you're in. So, like, anytime you can step up and help a kid, and that's what this does. It helps. It is directly affecting children in our community. So it's just cool. I love stuff like that.
Yep. 1045thezone.com is where you go to help with the Kickoff Confidence Shoe Drive before kids get back in school. That's got to be right around the corner. If training camp... Training camp is Wednesday.
Next week, baby.
Wednesday.
Oh, I'm so excited.
You and me have to come up with a plan, okay?
What's the plan?
Well, I'm sensing a little bit of lethargy from across the studio about training camp.
Lucas? No. Lucas has bells on for everything. You don't have to get him up. He's already up.
It's because we've been doing World Cup for 5 weeks and we haven't had to find different ways to keep him engaged, okay? You and me have to scheme. Because you might say, well, it's training camp. It's football. It's NFL. Isn't that enough? The answer is no. The answer is no.
It'll get, as soon as he gets out there, his blood's going to be pumping. He's going to be ready to go. I know it.
I hope so. Because otherwise I'm just dragging a corpse around with me for the next month and a half.
And practice is during the show. So, I'm not going to be up with you guys. I've got to be down there with the people. I've got to be down there, foots on the ground, really taking it in.
Foots,
yes.
Foots.
It's the plural for feet. Duh.
Yeah, training camp next Wednesday. We're going to be out there the whole time. The whole time. I'm going to be out in San Francisco for the week when they have joint training camp practices with the Niners. There's only one day of joint camp with the Niners. So we get out there Monday. The practice is Tuesday. Everybody has a day off Wednesday. The preseason game is Thursday. And then we will.
So you're going to come back Wednesday and then fly back out for the game, right? You're not going to, like, leave me and Lucas for, like, the whole week just to gallivant around San Fran, are you?
I'm going to do the show here Monday. I'm going to do the show here Friday. I have a red eye from San Francisco on Thursday night.
But then, like, Wednesday, like, your day off, you would definitely, like...
I'm going to have interviews recorded for you to run on Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm not showing up to do the show on Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm probably just going to have a day in San Francisco.
Thinking about this.
Probably going to go to the Ghirardelli factory.
Don't really know how I feel
Probably
about this.
not going to do my show with my name on it for a whole day. It's my favorite thing in the world, the Buck Rising Show, and I'm on it half the time.
Berkisius and Lucian will both be here to do the show.
Oh, are you suitors, are you?
Yes, we are here.
The show.
Oh, I'd be suited, boy.
The show is Penelope.
It suits me just fine. I've been trying to tell you, girl, for so long. We should be together.
Yeah. So we're gonna carry a portion of Clark Lee's press conference from Tampa, given that Vanderbilt is a fascination this year. They have a lot of interesting components to them, not the least of which is their quarterback situation. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But I want to get back to something I know the two of you touched on while I was out yesterday, and I appreciate you guys doing the show again while I was not doing the show with my name on it yesterday. Greg Sankey, I know you guys talked about what he said. And if you were not aware...
Do the Sankey leg! Do the Sankey leg!
I don't like that.
Lucas loved it.
You just pulled that out of your butt yesterday?
I did. Yeah, it was just... So I think Rhett said it before the show, and I was like, oh, yeah, I could do that. And then I just made, do the Sankey leg! Do the Sankey leg!
Yeah, you're right. It sounds as if it was done in 5 seconds before the show started.
That's fine.
That's
I'll
correct.
just stop making things. This must be how cats feel when they bring us dead mice, and we're like, ooh, gross. It's like, no, I made that for you. I brought that.
It's a present. It's a gift.
Keep it.
I worked for that. So, Vanderbilt is something we'll get to in a second. Greg Sankey, I'm scared now, spoke yesterday about the idea that the SEC could secede from the NCAA. Quote, I do not believe that it is a leverage point. I think that's just honest communication. I would prefer that stay in the meeting room or on a video conference and not be a part of the D1 ticker the next morning, but I don't control all of that. So he's talking about leverage. He says, you phrased the question, how real is it? So I'll take that as like real or not. So they're real. People have talked about that. They've opined about the frustrations that bring them to the point of saying that we should look at something significantly different. The Big Ten could do this. The SEC could do this. That's really the list. I don't know that the ACC, Robert, I don't mean to, poo-poo your ACC trutherdom, but I don't think the ACC could break out on his own and carry the level of interest that these other two conferences could.
People would still watch, but I don't think it would pull.
But I'm saying ACC fans would watch their respective programs. I don't know that as a casual or as an SEC fan, I would maybe I'd seek out a Miami game. I don't know. Maybe they should be back in the title, depending on where they're ranked. But I think the SEC and the Big Ten have the ability to draw more people that aren't necessarily fans of their programs.
And to be honest, if the ACC was to break off on their own and their rights agreement went kaput, they would lose Miami, Clemson, Florida State anyway.
Yeah, because they would immediately seek more stable partnerships, more lucrative partnerships, and the SEC and the Big Ten would be able to offer them.
Right. And maybe the Big 12 comes and offers like Carolina, NC State, Duke, something like that. Like the only foothold they have in the East Coast is UCF, right? Am I wrong about that?
For the ACC?
No, for the Big 12.
Oh, for the Big 12.
If someone else were to acquire them, if they were to also secede.
I think that's right. I would have to look at the Big 12.
The other one would be like West Virginia.
Memory, yeah, West Virginia, not really. Somebody in the chat says Notre Dame is independent, but still throws its weight around. The SEC would be able to do that at a much... Notre Dame does it because it's a national brand. It has its own television deal. The SEC could do that and do it more lucratively because they would have more to offer rather than just one program regularly scheduled. And Robert will let me know when Clark Lee is at the podium, and we will hear from the Vanderbilt coach here in just a second. The SEC is at a really interesting point because he's saying that I don't believe that it's a leverage point. I think that it's just honest communication. Both things can be true. You can be honestly communicating. It's like when NFL teams get into situations with cities and the city says, well, we don't want to pay for your stadium. And the team says, okay, well, I'll just leave. It's kind of a situation that Greg Sankey's in. Clark Lee is approaching the podium right now, coming off of Vanderbilt's most successful football season in program history. The coach with an interesting number of questions to answer about his quarterback situation. I'm sure he will be very forthcoming. Greg Sankey is introducing him at the podium, so we will hear from Clark Lee here in just a second. Clark Lee is somebody that we should have on the show at some point when his schedule gets a little less hectic. Though with SEC Media Days being upon us, the schedule is only going to ramp up. We are 50 days until the NFL kicks off, which is kind of a crazy thing.
And that's just regular season, right? That's not even like the
Hall of Fame game is in like 2 weeks.
I cannot wait.
Maybe 3.
And that is the least significant sports game that happens, maybe. Like, I do not care about the Hall of Fame at all, and I will be looking at the box score, and I will watch every single second of it.
Yes. So Vanderbilt has as many questions to answer as Tennessee does, it seems. And we can have a conversation later in the week about Vanderbilt. Okay, let's go to Clark Lee now at the podium.
Well, it's great to be here representing Vanderbilt University over the last 5 years through the efforts of our players and coaches and staff, through the commitment of our leadership, Chancellor Diermeyer, Candace Lee, and our Board of Trust, and with the support of our NIL partners and alumni, Vanderbilt football has become something different. We've been learning what winning requires, what winning demands, and what winning can mean for a university, an athletic department, an entire community. It's been a remarkable journey, and I'm incredibly grateful to everyone who's had the courage to believe in our vision and walk beside us along the way. I'm especially grateful to our players, those who chose to stay and fight together to build something meaningful while the world laughed from the safety of the sideline. I'm indebted and I'm inspired. But let me be clear, progress is not the destination. Last season was not an arrival. It was simply another step in the climb. Our objective remains what it's always been, to build the best football program in the country. And while progress is encouraging, complacency is dangerous. The moment we turn to protect the ground we've covered, we stop our pursuit of what's possible at Vanderbilt. We must be willing to risk what we are for what we could become. And now it's Team 6's turn. Every season has its own form. Every team writes its own story. Naturally, people want to compare this team to last year's team. And while there are similarities, there are also important differences. Different players, different coaches, different leaders, different personalities, different strengths, different challenges. Despite these differences, this group has inherited something that previous teams did not, a Vanderbilt football program that expects to win. With that inheritance comes standard over excuses, responsibility over entitlement, commitment over convenience. That inheritance gives us a foundation, but our story still must be earned because this team has yet to win a game. That's the gift of every season, a new beginning, a blank canvas. Every team has to forge its own identity. Every locker room develops its own chemistry. Every season asks a different set of questions. Every team has to write its own story. And stories are written from the inside out. That's why in every step, we must tend to the internal with great discipline and focus. This message is as important today as it was 5 years ago. We cannot allow our program to be defined by the past or by anyone on the outside. Not by last season, not by preseason rankings, not by media expectations, not by praise, not by criticism. We'll be defined by who we are, by what we choose to do and not to do every day. When we step onto the practice field, when we gather in the meeting room, when we walk our campus, when we serve our community, when no one's watching. Because wholehearted devotion to the discipline of Sunday through Friday becomes the privilege of performance everyone sees on Saturday. Inevitably, people will spend the next several weeks predicting what this team will become. That's just a part of college football. The truth is, none of us know the story yet. But I do know this: over the next 6 months, we will write it in our choices. And if we choose to stay committed to who we are, if we act with courage, if we remain faithful to one another and disciplined in our process, we will write a story worthy of Team 6. Because the true value of this story is not in how it's remembered, it's in who we become along the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. If you have a question for Coach Lee, please raise your hand. We'll get Patrick, Aaron, or Ellie to you with a microphone. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. We've got one right up here in the center aisle, 4 rows back.
Coach Ryan Shapiro, Columbia, Missourian. It feels like Vandy has been the underdog that every SEC fan can root for these past couple of seasons. This year, it kind of seems like you're almost out for blood to make the playoffs this year after missing it. Is that something that you feel as well, and how are you getting the players to buy into it?
Well, I think we're still internally the chip on the shoulder underdog that has a lot to prove. Again, you know, there's nothing that we inherit from last season that has to do with any future win. Everything's about the responsibility we have over the program that we have built, but how this team can actually move it forward. And maybe more importantly, how this team can fully express itself over the course of the next 6 months. So, you know, we don't spend a lot of time on external narratives. I think my hope would be that the program with every year becomes a little more of a thorn in the side to other SEC fan bases. But all that said, you know, we're going to spend time focusing on what we can control and the things that we do, the responsibility we have to turn our attention to the work that, that hopefully will give way to the potential of this team.
We're going to go in the section in front of me all the way towards the aisle in the back.
Yes, Coach Lee, Drew DeArmond, WZZN Radio, Huntsville, Alabama. I wanted to ask you a two-parter. First, about a couple of your portal additions, Cole Adams and Micah DeBose from the University of Alabama. And then my community, of course, we're very honored. Candace Story Lee grew up there, played high school basketball, and has now become one of the best athletic directors in the country. Talk about your relationship with her and how it's helped your career at Vanderbilt.
How much time do we have left? Because I want to talk a lot about Candace Lee. Let me start, out of respect for the question, Cole and Micah both become really special members of our team and our program. You know, I think they're at different points in their career. Both are misfits in their own right. They've been welcomed and created a sense of belonging for themselves in our locker room, and it's been fun to watch them take ground as members of our team. So we're privileged to have them, and I know they feel a part of this program and what it's becoming. You know, with Candace, you're talking about, outside of athletic directors, maybe the single greatest leader certainly that I've been around. There's a human and emotional element to this that she understands that I think is lost by so many. And the thing that I can point to, first of all, she doesn't get enough recognition. You talk about someone who has been a part of Vanderbilt for a long time and yet has the courage and vision to see the future as something different. She's locked in arms with Chancellor Diermeyer. They're so aggressive in where they want to take this. And it's not just about football success, that her vision, her leadership has unlocked potential in a lot of other programs too. So she is unique, but I would share this with you as kind of, well, I mean, aside from all the things that she connects with within our program and the personal relationships she develops with our players and the way those relationships give way to energy within our building. You know, in 2023, when we were going through a really challenging season, I think 99% of people would be marching down the hallway to point a finger at the football coach and say, you got to get this fixed. I can't express how supportive she was and how much of a partner she was in those hard moments. She is so tough. I mean, here's someone who has overcome every odd and still has to fight down and beat down all these external labels that get placed on her. All she did in that tough moment was be at her best. And I'm grateful for that, independent of what this program has become because of that level of partnership and leadership. I'm grateful for the example she showed me of what that looks like. And so, again, I could take the rest of the time talking about Candace. She's the best of the best, and I hope that the world's paying attention to what she's doing because I think it's important. There's an important thread that needs to be pulled into our society more broadly. Thank you for that question.
All right, we'll go back in the center aisle along the near side.
Hey, Coach. John Abraham, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone in Huntsville, Alabama. Just wanted to talk about the running back game and how different this offense is going to look without Diego Pavia. I know it's an understatement to say that he did make this offense look a little bit different than what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, well, first of all, you're from Huntsville. Do you want to talk about Candace Lee? Because I'm happy to talk more about okay, I appreciate the question about the running back room. You know, I think there's so much attention being given right now to how this offense will take shape, specifically who's going to take the snaps. And though that is an important question, what I'm more interested in ahead of training camp is how is this team strengthening in all the other areas that will support that position. So, you know, the mission is winning. That certainly hasn't changed. Does winning look different from year to year? Absolutely. It's our job to pivot and adjust and to unlock the potential of each team. So what are we going to do defensively? You know, how are we going to perform better on third down to generate more possessions, to limit snaps, to limit points, and to get opportunity to an offense that I know is going to have the ability to move the ball. In special teams, we've been really strong over the last few years. Jeff Leapak does an incredible job. You know, what are we going to do with our punt return unit? We got Martell Height taking the punt returns. Obviously, Cole Adams got experience with that too, but we didn't unlock the potential of that unit last year. So when you talk about punt return, you're talking about establishing field position, taking some pressure off the offense. Offensive line play. You know, I think we replaced a lot of snaps with a lot of snaps, and I think we feel really good right now about where that group is, and I have total faith and confidence in Coach Klanakis and Jeff Nady, who are helping to lead that room. How are they going to win the point of attack and establish a line of scrimmage dominance that allows for this run game to get going? Because Cedi Alexander and MK Young are two of the best, most talented backs in our conference. And if all of a sudden these things are falling into place and we're strengthening in those other areas, you've just lifted burden off the guy that's taking the snaps. Now, the offense will be different, right? And Tim Beck has proven his ability to adjust and adapt. Look at 2024, you're going to see an offense that looked like an option team. And we were grinding out clock and shortening games, and that's how we won. You look at last year's team, you're going to see an offense that absolutely exploded in the opposite direction, right? We went with tempo. We threw the ball vertically down the field. And that is both Tim's vision and that is Diego's growth. I think all those things are signals program strength. And so the running back room is going to be a big part. But again, the guy carrying the ball is only as good as the people moving the line of scrimmage. If we can establish a great run game in front of the quarterback, I think that we take pressure off and we allow the ball to be distributed to the perimeter in ways that we can become the explosive team that we've been. But all of that is out in front of us. I'm excited for the challenge, and I know the team is ready to redefine what winning is going to look like, knowing that certainly we got a big gap to close, but we have a bunch of guys that have been working in the shadows over the last few years that will finally get spotlight turned to them that I think will be good for Vanderbilt football.
So that is a portion. Clark Lee's going to keep talking at SEC Media Days, but a portion of the Vanderbilt head coach's press conference from Tampa. 3HL has him on later this afternoon. We'll wrap up the show. Last call for phone calls if you got them. 615-737-1045. I'm Buck Rising. It's 1045 The Zone.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
Wrapping it up for the day, Lucas is at Geodis. No, he's not at Geodis Park. He's at their training facility, but he will be at Geodis Park tomorrow, where they have a soccer game. He's calling a game between Montreal and your MLS leading soccer club, Nashville SC. 615-737-1045. You want to jump in these final minutes with me and Robert? If you don't want to do that, you can get on hold ahead of Zach and Blaine. Blaine and Zach, cover 2. Coming up next, 3HL in Tampa. They're going to have all manner of great interviews. Of course, their SEC Media Days coverage made possible by Wholesale Supply, built to supply, trusted to deliver. And by eSpaces, exceptional office space for every business. College football, it's right around the corner. It's on our doorstep. And the college football kickoff that the station does, Robert, is coming back.
And you're taking a day off.
Yeah, I won't be there.
Why?
The last weekend before NFL.
Everyone at the entire station agrees to work that day in exchange for a long weekend. But I think you took the long weekend that everyone else bargained for.
And I will also be off on that Friday. But nobody else will. So you can go hang out with the rest of the station, which is probably better for you anyway.
I'm just going to start taking days off, dude. I'm just going to randomly be like,
nah. You have as many vacation days as me?
Nah, I'm not feeling it. I'm going to make it so. I'm going to make it so that I have as many vacation days.
Remember when you and Lucas tried to bargain for my vacation days? Because I don't use them?
Yes.
Except at the most inconvenient times to everybody else.
You know, that is not a thing anymore. You definitely use your vacation days now.
I do. Now that I know that I like vacation, I'm like, I'll just go away.
They're never going to take this show away from me. I might as well just leave it.
And if they do, I have like 6 other jobs.
I hope they fire me and Lucas. I hope we both get laid off and you have to do this show by yourself. That's what I hope.
Then I'd actually have to do the show with my name on it all the time.
Yes, you'd have to work.
It would be a greater punishment. That would be the greater punishment. It would be laying off you two and making me do my job.
That would be the Odyssey for you. It's like, how long have I been here? 20 minutes. Save me.
So, I love that it says the Buck Rising show is going to be there. No, I won't.
But we will.
But you two will,
The outsiders, the other guys.
You will be at Yazoo on
crew.
September the 4th, Yazoo Brewing Company in Madison, to celebrate the kickoff of the college football weekend. It says, so our show will be there. I will not be there, which I'm sure is happy for most of you. From 10 to 6 p.m., 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Cover 2, 3HL. While you're there, you can sign up for a chance to win Tennessee football season tickets and more. 1045thezone.com. See you tomorrow.